rebuild of the favorites. We here for the latest. South side or the north side, not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams. Both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball, but we don't put the wrong strings. Yeah. It's that time of the year now. Wrigley or Gantes or the whole league that we hear now. New show with a new mood. Discussions and interviews. Straight rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Let's do the retweets.
All done.
All done. You're quick with it now. Let me do my... Where is it? You son of a bitch, Aldo.
We got to give the people what they want.
You son of a bitch. The main picture for this episode, Mitch, is a custom Cubs jersey with Abreu 79 on the back.
Well, it won't be custom for much longer.
All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I can see where this show's going already. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Mitch is having a heart attack.
What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday, November 10th. Happy birthday to the United States Marine Corps. And you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I am your host, Matt Zwoski, a.k.a. Southside Zoe, a.k.a. Father Zoe. And with me, as always, Mr. Aldo Soto.
Speaking of veterans, maybe the Cubs will sign a veteran first baseman soon.
Trey Mancini.
Josh Bell. And that other gentleman down there, back from his absence, being corporate Mitch. We got NASCAR Mitch back. What's up, Mitch?
Pretty good. All right, we're doing good. I'm happy with the new manager. I know you guys talked about that last week, but new reset. You know, the offseason's off to a good start, so keep the ball rolling here.
Mm-hmm. And I hope you benched Kevin Fiddler in your podcast fantasy lineups because he is out this evening. I don't even know what he's doing.
You're getting zero.
I heard that one before.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I told you straight up I was.
Hey, yeah, I mean, I think you'd use it.
I don't know where Fitz is. I don't know. It's so hard.
Corporate
to keep track. Kevin. Maybe.
No, I think it's school Kevin.
I think it's show Kevin.
Baseball Kevin. Oh,
baseball Kevin.
I think it's show Kevin.
Well, the GM meetings are in Vegas.
This was actually when Kevin. Remember, this is when Kevin first joined the show.
It was the winter meetings.
It was the winter meetings in Vegas, and Kevin was like our man on the scene reporter, and he did such a fine job. And here we go. Years later, he's still part of the show. So we're going to talk about what's going on, what's coming out of those GM meetings. A lot of sound bites left and right coming out. Guys interested in this guy. The market's crazy. We found some pretty good articles where guys smarter than us wrote what they think players are going to get. So
way smarter. Did a lot more detailed work.
Way smarter. I mean, if you do more than throw a dart at some numbers, you are beating us already. And then last week we had 2 Cubs fans and a Sox fan do the White Sox offseason plan. So this week we're going to do 2 Sox fans and a Cubs fan do the Cubs offseason plan.
Naturally.
Hope that all made sense. All that, and I got a feeling this is going to be kind of a goofy one, folks. So settle in. Let's tap this keg. As always, this show is brought to you by Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com. Make sure you download the app, turn on push notifications, so you'll be the first to know when the White Sox sign Brandon Drury. Also, this week's episode is brought to you by Uncle Bud's. It's a brand new bar in Oak Lawn on the south side here. It's on 97th and Cicero, 9700 South Cicero. For those of you that are from the area or familiar with the area, it's where TC's used to be, right there on the corner. They got 9 big-ass TVs for all, sports nonstop, 20 different taps, full food menu, brand new Golden Tee machine, darts. It's just a great neighborhood bar. It's opening tomorrow, the 10th, or if you're listening to this on podcast today. They specifically opened up on the United States Marine Corps' birthday. So they do have drink specials for any United States Marine that comes in on Thursday the 10th. And then Friday on Veterans Day, they will have they have specials for any United States veterans. So it's called Uncle Bud's, 9700 South Cicero. Go check them out. Tell them Zoe sent you. All right, fellas. there's a lot to cover. I'm loving all this off-season content, by the way. Thank you, baseball.
I just hope. So I told you guys in the chat before we started recording how, free agents or the offseason begins the day after the World Series, but free agents can't sign until after 5 days.
Yep.
So like, there's all this anticipation. We're already seeing the rumors, what teams are meeting with who's talking with who so far. But like, it's not the NBA or it's like not the NFL. There may be a few deals that might be done, but like, it does take a while. That's the frustrating thing with MLB.
It does take a while, and it's like football. The joke is football's 365.
Yeah,
like football just doesn't stop, and NBA is kind of getting that way too. It'd be pretty freaking sweet if baseball. And I feel like I was looking at the free agent list today because it's becoming more and more clear with guys opting out, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But I feel like there's a good amount of really big fish, but I feel like there's a more medium fish this year.
Yeah, there's a big middle tier. Yep.
There's a big middle. That's a better way to put it. There's a big middle tier. So that's great for guys like us that do this year round, because I feel like that's going to
we have a bigger pool to choose from and maybe be right on one or two.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll get into the hot dog guessing game pretty soon, but yeah, I mean,
do you guys want to address the big one that we've been talking about for like a month?
Yes.
Like Jose Abreu is not returning to the White Sox.
It does not sound like it. Nothing.
Conflicting reports.
Yeah, nothing is. I mean, if we've learned anything, although especially you and I, what are we, 5 years deep doing this now?
Yeah.
I mean, 5 years doing this and 10 years with the blog. Nothing is official until ink hits paper.
I will say though, judging off of Griffel's press conference, the fact that Abreu wasn't one of the players he listed that was like contacted, and I get his free agent, like that kind of told you all you really need to know. That I don't think they're going to bring him back because he's always contact. Like usually that's like the first guy.
Bruce Levine saying once again, there's zero chance.
Bruce Levine's word is about as good as the dude that sits at Hooters and drinks coffee all days with me. Like he's
all right. Well, I mean, there was also Bob Nightingale, who's the Sox guy.
All right. I don't think Jose Abreu is coming back, but I'll tell you one thing that I know you're having a lot of fun busting our balls about Jose Abreu going to.
I am not having fun.
You are having fun, although
I just want you not to. Don't be like the hot dog.
No, I'm not. I get it. I've already accepted the fact. In our offseason plan, I let him.
You did.
I knew he wasn't coming back, but I feel like this is going to turn into one of those things where there's so much smoke around it. It's almost too much smoke around it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the only thing
there's too much talk about this.
But why? Like there hasn't been there. Like that's the thing. Like with all the reports, like saying like there's like he's not coming back to the Sox. There's zero chance he's back. You know, the plan is to have Vaughn at first base, being the starter full time. But like there hasn't even been one countering. Be like the Sox are going to reach out to Jose Abreu, or the White Sox are planning to meet with. There's been nothing of that.
Which on the flip side though could be a good thing. Because we know that Han likes to just do random shit when no one's talking about. Like
AJ Pollock opted out. It looks like Eloy's our left fielder. Vaughn, your DH. Abreu, welcome back.
he does. He likes. I don't think again.
That's true, Mitch. I did mention that. That could be.
I don't think Jose Abreu is coming back to the White Sox.
I don't either. If I had to place a bet, I would bet against it.
I
really want it to happen, but it's not.
On the Cubs front, though. I feel like there's too many people saying that he's going to go to the Cubs. I feel like there's too many reports that he's going to go to the Cubs. I'm not as familiar with the ins and outs of how the Cubs front office operates as I am with the White Sox, but like I know with the White Sox organization, if there's 10 reports that they're signing a guy, they're not going to sign him. It's just not happening. It's just like
it's tricky, I guess. I'm trying to think back to like I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's a regime change. Like, almost the entire front office changed, so you don't know who's leaking stuff out now or who wants what out. There's obviously a clear message being out right now for the Cubs fans listening right now, and who are going to be listening on the podcast. Download it, Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
So it's always concerning when you see the like the one report, right? Like because you can you can wave that one off, being like, that's just one guy, who cares? But then when you see two, and then you see a third, it's like, all right, well, obviously someone in the Cubs wanted a certain message to be very clear in the public, and that was, the Cubs aren't going to be offering long, like 6, 7, 8, or I think the specific words were like they're not really interested in going 7, 8, 9, 10 years for any of the shortstops. We saw last year they reportedly had an offer of like 7 years to Correa.
Ryan in the comment section says, so the answer to that question is poorly. The Cubs front office operates poorly. And just like Ryan, if you're watching us live, get in the comment section, but also make sure you hit the subscribe button, folks. We need to get the subs up. So don't just be one of those weird, pervy, like lurker guys. Subscribe to the channel.
So like that's pretty. So like the Cubs supposedly had offered Correa like 7 years last year before the lockout. He wasn't interested, and like at the end, obviously he signed the short deal with the opt-outs with the Twins. But like so that kind of sucks because like you would think that now maybe a few more teams are going to be more aggressive, and like they are going to be willing to go to that length that Correa wants, and like the trade Turner to Philly. Like the Philly, we're talking about teams who you hear reports about, and you're like, well, how true can they be? Like the Phillies getting trade Turner. The Phillies are going to get trade Turner. The Phillies have been like the one team.
Like a Philly move.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident about that.
Like when they were connected to the Harper, like that entire winter, like what happened? They were the team that stepped up and did the big contract.
True.
Nick Castellanos, when they wanted another bat, they signed him up. Kyle Schwarber, the same thing. Zach Wheeler, they offered him less than the White Sox, but they still offered him big money, got him. So it just seems like anytime they're connected to like a big time free agent in the last, 4 years, like they get them. So Trey Turner right now, I'm like penciling that one in. He's a Philly.
If I'm a Cubs fan, though, after listening to that sizzle reel with John Hamm, I don't think I want him anymore. And I like John Hamm. That was pretty cringy. I didn't like it.
I don't like John Hamm, Cardinals fan. Great actor, but I do. I'll be honest, I didn't.
Because his postseason was so bad. So he's like, you know what? We got people to forget about this. John Hamm narrating how great I am.
Oh, yeah. And how convenient that it was leaked.
Yeah.
Right. So, circling back, though, about the Cubs, though, with Jose Abreu, it's abundantly clear that the Cubs are in the market for a veteran first baseman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because outside of the Abreu reports, they also rifled off Josh Bell. Trey Mancini is not coming back to Houston. I really think he just goes back to Baltimore. But they rifled his name as a possible option. Like, basically any mid to top tier first baseman that's out there right now, the Cubs said, yeah, we're interested in him today.
Yep.
It wasn't just Jose Abreu. The reason why the Jose Abreu stuff is getting so much heat is because of the whole south side to north side thing. I mean, but for some reason in my head,
he was the first name brought up too. I think like immediately after, like back in mid-October.
In my head right now, like after seeing all this stuff today, coming into the show, I can't get Josh Bell out of my head as a Cub. I just see it. I don't know why. It just makes sense to me. I think he'd hit really well in that park. It's great that he's a switch hitter. I mean, like there's nothing wrong with coming out of this with Josh Bell as your first baseman.
Jose Abreu's better. Like that just seems like I think out of the three, I would still rather.
I'm trying to fucking get him on Josh Bell so he shuts up about Jose Abreu. Read the room, Mitch.
I would still take Trey Mancini too. Over Josh.
No, stop.
I was looking at
Trey. Hold on.
I was like,
you take Trey Mancini over Josh Bell right now.
He's gonna be a little cheaper. Yeah, and I think you get the same relative production.
You're crazy. Yep. You're on crazy.
I was looking at
what drugs are the kids doing these days? Because Mitch is on them. I don't even know what drugs are called.
America's
the toad.
Here.
The toad.
Oh yeah, that's right. You licking toads over there, Mitch? You licking toads?
I was looking at Trey Mancini's numbers, and obviously it's tough to judge him because the whole cancer thing. Exactly because you look at the numbers and
keep that out of it. Keep that out of it.
I'm saying because like he came back from that And
Right.
it's like the numbers haven't been like that great for him.
No, and there was a reason why he was break glass in case of emergency for the Astros during the playoff run.
Right.
Like he wasn't like a guy. And Josh Bell had decent playoffs, but I was when the Astros won the World Series, my first reaction, I think I tweeted it too, was good for fucking Trey Mancini, man.
Of course.
Because like that is like an all-time. There'll be a movie about that.
Mm-hmm.
There definitely will be a movie about it. Somewhere.
Right, he's got a ring, championship pedigree. That's what the cup.
Get that one hit in there in the World Series.
That's right. That'll be your new Jason Hayward.
There you go.
He could give a great speech. He could give one hell of a motivational speech. He's got the whole. He doesn't even have to make shit up. He just be like, guys.
That's right. Forget the rain delay speech. He'll have the cancer speech, and I bet it'll be a lot more motivation.
But I think so. Out of those 3 names for the Cubs, at least, I think it's a very clear plan A, plan B, plan C. So I think Abreu is obviously at the top because you can get him for the shortest amount of years. 2. The Cubs keep saying that. Brian. I mean, that I don't want to be that harsh, but yes, yeah, exactly. And there's kind of a reason for that too. Again,
if we're gonna put that out there, like
cancer stuff.
I really, 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 really think Trey Mancini goes back to Baltimore, and it's gonna be like a farewell season type deal. I think he's earned that in Baltimore. He's very highly regarded in Baltimore. Made a great career.
Baltimore really wants like more good players,
but
they're ready to win.
I don't think he takes a starter role in Baltimore, though. I think he takes more of a, a bench bat type deal. Like they bring him in there as like a farewell tour type thing. He's there to help mentor and like.
How old is Trey Mancini?
A lot of it doesn't matter how old he is, man. What he came back from, I don't think there's a lot of tread left on those tires, bud. And
don't tell Trey Mancini that.
Don't ever tell me the odds. I think, but he's 32. But do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Trey Mancini is only 30. He's going to be 31 in March.
He was 32. Oh.
See? In his prime.
Though.
But, yeah.
Bench back? Come on.
Hitter, but I'm still taking him.
No,
I should be his
so I go Abreu A, Bell B, Mancini distant. Plan C for the Cubs there.
Yeah.
Despite riding the Trey Mancini hype train.
And then, but the Cubs also made it abundantly clear that while they're going for a veteran first baseman, what they call him, Mashing Mervis or whatever the hell his name is.
Well, his name is Matt Mervis, but his nickname is Mash.
Mash, there you go. That he is definitely going to get an opportunity at the big league level, which makes me think more of a guy like Josh Bell who can play more than one position.
Or Abreu who can play first
base. Really
range.
Play more than one position, though. If you do them all poorly, I don't think that really counts.
Josh Bell's a pretty decent outfielder.
Mitch, you guys should sign him.
Don't dig up here, Mitch.
You guys should sign Josh Bell. Alex has been right all along.
Well, now that Abreu's gone, and if they get rid of Gavin Sheets,
there you go.
Fucking trade Sheets, please trade Sheets. Yeah, and so that was a big one. The other thing is we finally got numbers, like we said. Although, do you have that article?
Which one do you want? So I have the ESPN one, and then
I got the ESPN one here. What number?
The one that you sent that the guy like wrote paragraphs about, but all you
that was that was on The Athletic. Let me bring
you read the last paragraph because that's where he puts the money in there.
Let's see.
Oh, and yes, Fids in the comments. Danny fucking Burgers already re-signed with the Mets. So I mean, they just know talent. Steve Cohen didn't make his fortune by letting guys like Danny Burgers walk away. Put it that way, folks.
So who are we looking for here?
I want the Aaron Judge numbers first, and then I'm going to go to Drury next.
Aaron motherfucking Judge.
I don't even think Drury was in that article, but
no, he was at the very bottom. He didn't get the paragraph description though.
Oh.
Aaron Judge. Let me look at this. Here we go. I can see a team deciding to go just beyond that in order to avoid a 9th year. making Judge the first $40 million position player at 8 years, $320 million, which was my projection when I did a little poll.
And you know who could afford that? After reading that, I've never been more convinced that Aaron Judge is going to San Francisco.
I was going to say the Yankees.
I think he's going to San Francisco.
Or San Francisco.
We're going to have to do... We're going to have to
that
write all
doesn't
these
seem
down,
that
though.
crazy to me.
No, he's going to San Francisco in my head. The San Francisco GM said they asked him specifically about Aaron Judge, and he was just like, let's just say I think we're financially in a place where no one is out of our price range.
I mean, yeah, no, they're definitely in it.
Yeah. I mean, so keeping going down this list, Trey Turner, 8 years, $296 million.
That's a lot.
That's more than what we thought, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. I've been so off on some of these. Like last year, remember that Corey Seager? I didn't think he was gonna get close to $300 million. He got the biggest deal out of any of them.
Well, the Rangers are gonna
Yeah.
Like they'll pay for anyone now. They're gonna sign DeGrom, probably overpay for him too. So
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw that the Rangers just being like, fuck it, have all the money.
they're gonna
How much
be
is
like
$296?
we're back like a couple of years ago, like 2014, where they're gonna win the offseason like 2-3 years in a row, and I still don't think they'll be that good.
So that's
I agree with you.
$37 million a year for
37.
Trey Turner.
That's a spicy meatball for Trey
Yeah.
Turner. He is that good though. He is nice, dude. I mean, I know
Yeah.
the postseason was a little rough for Trey, but
The good thing with him too is like he can play shortstop, he can play second base, and then he does play a little center field too. So you can move him around.
in a pinch, yes, 100%.
Obviously, great speed, great contact skills.
Are you guys really that sold on him as going to the Phillies?
It's just because you heard it right away. And again, this goes just off the recent track record of the Phillies.
That's true. They
Like the
tend
Phillies
to
have
not,
been willing to go out and pay.
they tend
for
to
the big
not
free agent.
F around.
Yeah.
I agree with Fids in the comments as well that as he's gotten older, the defense is slowing down a little bit. I would like to see Trey Turner as a second baseman.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, the White Sox need a second baseman. Just saying.
Break into the budget. You got
bro,
$8 million.
If Trey Turner signed with the White Sox, I would have a Trey Turner White Sox jersey so fast. Whew, did you hear that, Uncle Jerry? That's money in the bank right now.
Yeah, but he has to spend money to print the jerseys.
No.
Yeah.
That's what he's gonna say.
Next one, Carlos Correa. 8 years, $260 million.
In my original Cubs offseason plan, I had him at 8 for $256.
Nope, you're gonna have to pony up $4 more mil, bud.
Well, I mean, that's gonna be like a lot more million that the Cubs are gonna pony up.
ESPN got him at 265.
And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, though, you're starting to hear all this like shit that people are like, "Oh no, he actually really liked it in
Minnesota.
No one likes it. What? No.
Hey, Target Field's a nice facility.
It is a very nice facility, but Homeboy's made it very clear that he wants on a win now team. I don't see the Twins being like that team for him.
It depends what they
You know, help
do.
them with leverage.
Yeah.
Another team's interested.
Yeah, I mean
Right,
that's
that-
that's a very good point, Mitch. Like, and I think it's part of our job as hosts of the show is to try to filter out like we all know better by now. We all know when it's agent speak. We all know when it's, GM speak and all that shit. But this Carlos Correa might still love Minnesota. That's all agent bullshit.
It looked like he checked out in September. There's no way he's
I
coming.
mean, as soon as he saw those standings and he wasn't going to the playoffs, and then plus for him to sit there and watch his replacement not only get a ring in Houston, but win MVP of the World Series as well, like, that dude is just jonesing. Well, first of all, he's jonesing to get paid because he keeps comparing himself to luxury clothing items.
Well, that was Scott.
I know, but I'm just saying. He started it though.
He did.
And then, but you gotta think that's digging at him. The fact that he was in a suit doing analysis on TV while the kid that took his job was winning World Series MVP.
Especially because if you look at his numbers, he ended up being like the best player on the Twins. Like he was still very good. Like he started off shitty, And then he just was very good for like 3 straight months. He was carrying the offense that just fucking took a nosedive after the All-Star break.
And I mean, that's like tallest short person.
By the way,
still,
I mean, no, he would have been a lot better than everyone on the White Sox.
That's fine.
What was I gonna say? So the quote unquote Twins are very interested, or he's very happy, and that goes back to my point at the beginning. With I still have like a little bit of hope that just like Carlos Correa is completely overvaluing himself, so that maybe it's like January, the other shortstops have signed, and like the Dodgers are like, yeah, we're not going to give you 8 years. Like the Phillies have Trey Turner.
Oh, you
the
think
Rangers sign somebody.
He's trying to slow roll it
like that. That's like it. Like if he can like end up like Jake Arrieta-ing himself, and like just like keep waiting, and then the big offers aren't there. Then hey, the Cubs swoop in and like, hey, we'll give you 5 years, $180 million.
As time has gone on, I've become more accepting to the fact of Carlos Correa to the White Sox or to the Cubs.
That's gonna happen.
That it's gonna happen. I didn't like 2 weeks ago. I thought there was not a fucking snowball's chance in hell.
12 hours ago, like I first woke up in the morning, or 13 hours ago, whatever it was. I was right with you until I read all those damn reports of like the Cubs being like, yeah, they're gonna be interested, but not for the years that these guys want. It's basically everything has to fall the Cubs' way this offseason. It's like no, the Dodgers are kind of in a similar position where like they're only going to offer a big annual salary, but they don't want to do a long contract. The Yankees don't seem like they're going to spend big on a shortstop. The Red Sox don't seem like they're going to spend big on a shortstop, unless they try to get Bogarts back.
Which is the next guy on this list at 7 years, $175 million.
You know, here, Aldo, I'll help you with your offseason plan right now. They want a veteran first baseman. There's a nice Trey Mancini on the market there. You get your cheap veteran first baseman, part of the Trey Mancini fan club. And then, because he's so cheap, now you get a shortstop too. 2 boxes checked.
That would be so annoying. That would be so annoying.
I want this to happen just so Mitch tries to dunk on me. I want that so bad. But someone just said in the comment, Joel said in the comments, a team that I don't think is talked about enough when it comes to off-season spending
Not even saying.
is the Mariners.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, the Mariners got loot. They got a team that was right there. I mean, right there. They got a great, but they need to make a couple changes to get over that hump. And, you know, Mariners going out and getting like an Xavier Bogaerts or a Dansby Swanson.
Right, I can see that.
Throw either one of those in the mix there. Holy shit, man.
Yep.
That's a scary ass team.
Yeah. I still think Dansby Swanson's staying, though.
And he's going to get underpaid, and he's going to be fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dansby Swanson, he's either going to get overpaid by some team or he's going to get underpaid and go back to the Braves. And none of it is going to make sense.
And it's going to drive me crazy. Absolutely crazy. Because they got Bogarts at 7 years. I'm sorry, Ace Ventura. I can't say 7 years normally. 7 years for $175 million, and then Dansby Swanson at 7 years at $168 million. So rapid fire, no thinking about it. Which one would you rather have, Bogarts or Swanson?
Bogarts. Out of those two, I'd take Bogarts.
I would agree.
I just don't believe in Swanson's bat long term.
His defense is excellent, but like Bogarts is sufficient defensively, and he's the offensive upside's a lot higher.
And I also think that Boston's going to take a big chunk of change to keep Devers.
Yeah.
And I think Bogarts is going to be the odd man out there, and he's going to end up shortstop markets. It's crazy.
It's
crazy.
Weird. Yeah, I don't. It's like the Phillies, Cubs.
You know Dodgers? What, Joel? Joel, stay hot in the comments today, bud. But Swanson signs first, gets underpaid, and just fucks up the market.
I mean,
it's crazy. I mean, it's funny when you say it like that, but like,
no,
it's very, very possible scenario. because I could see him being like, I just want to stay in Atlanta. You know, he's been part of this building of this team, the current team. Atlanta's got a really, really good baseball team down there. And, you know, they got injuries have been plaguing them a little bit with Ozzie Albies going down and all that stuff. But, yeah, man.
Did the Rangers last year before the did the Rangers get Simeon and Seager before the lockout? Did they get both of them?
I think
Or was
so,
that
'cause
after?
they got them both like pretty close together. It
Yeah.
was like a
Oh, so it
week
was before
apart.
the lockout, right?
No, I think it was right after. I want to
Was it
say.
right
It was either right after or right before because they were like a week apart. I don't know. You'd have to look
Hey,
that
maybe
up.
it was before.
While you look that up, though, so the other name that we way undervalued on this show.
Yes.
I
We were
mean,
making fun of all these
yeah,
the tweets.
shout out to Brian in the comments because Brian's been all about this dude, but also telling us how good he was, and we've kind of been like, he's not that great, but the median,
Oh, yeah, Corey Seager signed
expectation-
December 1st.
and then what was Simeon had been like December like 7th or 8th, like they were like a week apart, weren't they?
Yeah.
It was like bam bam, and everybody was like, "Holy shit,
They're
Rangers!"
like, what?
Yeah, like take a fucking break, man.
See if that didn't happen, Carlos Correa maybe is a Cub right now. Because
True.
those deals were so ludicrous that Correa's like, well, all right, I'm gonna get mine too.
They were indeed ludicrous. Joel, that's a good point too. Joel, like I said, stay hot, buddy. I can picture a conversation going like this in Atlanta where they're like, "Yo, Dansby, you're gonna get yours, but we got to be reasonable here. The reason why we got to be reasonable is because we're about to back up the Brinks fucking truck for Jacob deGrom. So you want to be here for a winning team? You want to be here when all this shit happens? This is what we can do." And I don't know, like obviously I don't know Dansby Swanson personally, but like I feel like he's the type of guy that's like, yeah,
By the way, I can't see.
I'll
I
sign
can't
it.
get
Go get Jacob.
I can't get the exact date, but the news stories on MLB.com are written on the same day for Seager and Simeon. They announced their deals on the same day.
I know they were within a week.
Yeah,
I know they were within
they
a
made
week.
them official on the same day. It looks like. Yeah, damn.
But yeah, so I really think Dansby stays put. I also agree. I'm not fully sold on his bat. I know the gloves there. Obviously, he just won the Gold Glove.
Yeah. If you look
He's
at the little chart
baseball.
comparing, it's like his numbers are very similar to Javier Baez.
Which
Again, as
And-
much as I loved Javier Baez, I was
Sure.
Yeah,
like pounding
he's
the
like-
door.
He's an elite. Like
Yeah,
Javi's good, but like you're getting the best defensive shortstop
Yeah. Dansby
in
Swanson.
baseball.
Oh, you know, I'm more so talking about the bat. Like Dansby Swanson, like offensively, has been like okay, but you know, offensively, yeah, he is the cream of the crop there at shortstop.
But who I was alluding to though was Brandon Nemo.
Yep.
Yeah,
I didn't know that his market would be like this, but this article in the Athletic has him 6 year, 132 mil. I think ESPN had him at like what, like 128, 125.
They have him at 118 for 5 years.
Still, I
Right.
didn't think he was getting 100, let alone these numbers. Like
Well,
this
it
is
helps that he's the only everyday like center fielder really
Right.
in the free agent class. So if you want an outfielder, then
and I mean the rumor, the word that keeps going around is that Colorado is just gonna be like, fuck the market, we're overpaying for this guy.
that
That's
would be
our
so
guy.
Colorado.
that would
It would be
be
so Colorado, dude. But I mean, it is what it is there. One thing that, because this stupid fucking picture just popped up on my screen, one thing that made me laugh, like literally laugh out loud today, was they were in an interview with the Yankees GM. Apparently, they said he made it known to everyone that Josh Donaldson is his third baseman next year. He still believes in his glove and thinks that his offseason at the plate was a one-off, and he's got a lot more. The Yankees deserve everything that's coming to him. Then fuck that guy, and I hope he has a worse year next year.
For as much shit as we give our ownership, which is deserved, let me make that very clear.
Very clear.
for their not going all out, or at least trying a little harder to get good players, which I heard makes you better.
Yes. So
Or
very good strategy.
what the Yankees have done, despite again they have been a winning team, not they haven't been able to get a championship since 2009. But them just completely ignoring every superstar player that they could easily afford any of these guys. It's not going after any of them has been shocking.
Something weird's going on, man. Like, I know.
Is it literally because it's the son now who owns the team, and he's like, "Yeah, I like more money for me." Like,
something's going on because I remember. I mean, everybody knows back in the day, Ken Griffey Jr. said, "If the only team that offered me a contract was the Yankees, I'd retire." Even in the middle of my prime, Ken Griffey Jr. said that. I've loved him for that forever, but. That was him. And then it always was like the Yankees are like the place to go. Like the Yankees were the pinnacle. Like it was all the Yankees. But then like a couple of days ago, they had an interview with my boy, dude, Guerrero Jr., Vladdy Guerrero Jr. And he's just like, I love playing in New York. I love hitting in New York. I would never sign with the New York Yankees. I love to kill the Yankees.
I don't blame these guys.
Even if I was dead, I wouldn't sign with the Yankees, which was a weird translation, but I mean, if you were dead, why would the Yankees sign you? But anyways, I don't think the Yankees are like it anymore. Does that make sense? Like, it's not like.
Yeah, and look what they did to Joey Gallo. I mean, you gotta play in that beast of a media market. So everything's magnetized. You got extra pressure every day right there. The fans are not great. Like they're despicable people. They'll boo you any chance they get. And like who wants to deal with that if you don't have to?
They booed Aaron Judge in the playoffs this year.
Like that's all you need to know.
You know what? I'm glad that Josh Donaldson's there, so he has to go through another year of that shit.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I hope someone chucks a battery at him. Obviously, I don't want physical harm. Nobody get your fucking pants in a twist over it. It's a joke, but I mean, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, but if they do it,
yeah, if it did happen, I mean,
if it happened,
if it happened,
it happened.
Inside joke if it happened,
Yeah, if it happened, it happens. But
he needs to work on his reflexes.
Yeah, it's just not it. I don't think it's like it used to be where it was like, oh, big free agent, he's probably going to go to the Yankees. And another thing that's killing him, and I know he's still a very productive player, but that Stanton contract, that Stanton contract might be the reason why they don't get Aaron Judge back.
Trade it to the Cubs, baby. I'll take that salary. Jim Craig, that dude's just a freak.
Stanton would rake in
that dude's a freak.
Oh my God, that little basket. Oh my, he would just, Anyways.
He'd put a hole through the brick ivy.
He would definitely break a window across the street. I know they got bulletproof glass, double pane glass, but he would break a window. Next on our list is a Cub, former Cub, because he ain't coming back. Wilson Contreras. They got him at 4 years, $75 million.
Oh, he's got to take that. If he gets that, take it. Take it, Wilson.
So the team that we've heard for Wilson Contreras, I've heard two teams a couple times. First one being the Detroit Tigers, which I really hope doesn't happen.
That would be kind of a Tigers move, though.
It definitely would. He'd be back with Javi, which apparently, if Fitz was here, we'd now have to take a 15-minute break because he would talk about how Contreras and Javi are terrible influences on each other, and but be him back with Javi, but Wilson Contreras plays very well against the White Sox. It's just fact.
Oh yeah, that's true. That Grand Slam game where he had that bat flip toss 2 stories high.
That the bat toss that would have went on the 6th floor of the Sears Tower. Yeah, it was just.
Bat flips were cool until that happened, and then it's all right, now it's douchey.
The Tigers have to do something big because their offense was embarrassing.
It was very bad. Torkelson, they had these big prospects, Green and Torkelson, that they were really leaning on. Green was pretty good. Torkelson had a terrible year.
For both of them, though, I feel like if he's a Tigers fan, you got to have a little patience. You got to give
absolutely. I agree with you. 100%, but
especially Green because he had that foot injury, I think, right? Right before opening day.
But Torkelson, man, they sent him down 2 or 3 times during the year.
Yeah, he was
could not get going. But
Yeah,
like
brutal.
a Wilson Contreras signing shows the fan base like, hey, we're still trying to be competitive. Like this guy's been known to kill one of our rivals in the division. We're teaming him back up with his old buddy Javi. Like he's a good catcher. He's still got a cannon for an arm. Still hit.
You can DH him.
I don't think he's getting 4 years, 74 million. But
I don't think you can DH enough if you got Miggy there.
yep, and Joel's
shit,
correct
that's
too. Tigers cleaned house. Trainers,
did.
hitting coaches, everyone gone.
Their new GM used to be in the Cubs front office.
Right. Oh, there's another connection then
There's
with
another
Wilson
connection.
Contreras. And then the other team is the Rays.
No, the Rays are too smart. They're not going to overpay for Wilson.
The Rays don't put that kind of money up, but I think that was just more a reporter was just like, who needs a catcher?
I was also thinking
Rays do.
Houston. I was also thinking Houston, but then finding out, it turns out it wasn't the owner. It was like Dusty Baker.
Yeah.
Dusty Baker straight up was like, nah.
Nah, I'm good. Which is that kind of. That,
And I mean, yeah,
if you read
Dusty Baker's going
lines
to
a
be
little bit
back.
there,
So.
yeah.
It's maybe the Mets.
Mets. I mean,
The Mets, I could see they would pay.
super shocked that James McCann didn't solidify that position for him because if you ask a lot of White Sox fans,
He was better than Yasmani Grandal,
which he probably was. I mean, that was kind of a.
You want to talk about a bad contract? We always make fun of teams for like bigger free agent deals that flop. That they wasted 4 years for was it 46 million?
You know what though, and the Mets have a super good kid coming up as a catcher.
Oh, is it a catcher? Oh, okay.
He'll probably be their starting catcher next year.
That's a lot of pressure, man.
I know, but I can't think of his name.
No, I know who you're talking about. It's like with an A, I think.
Hold on. I can actually.
Yeah, but you have a backup there with Contreras, and then you got a DH. The worst case scenario.
Francisco Alvarez.
Alvarez,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, he's very good. I have MLB The Show on my TV, and I just pulled up because he's got a 99 overall card. I hit really well with him.
So let me ask you, how much does MLB The Show influence your opinion on prospects? Because I know it does a lot for me.
1,000%. 1,000. I don't think it influences, but it actually makes me aware.
Better. It's better.
Like, who's this kid? Corbin Carroll in Arizona. Love that kid. Never seen him play real baseball a day in my life. But in MLB The Show, 98 speed, 99 steal, and he hits nukes. You love that kid. But
forget an analytics department. The White Sox just got to get Zoe playing the show.
Just put me in the front office with a PS5. I will fix this team.
Cheaper, yeah.
Easy.
Like, guys, just give me 12 hours a day in front of the sticks, and
just give me like a couple Red Bulls, a carton of Parliaments, and let me go to work here, boys.
Obviously, the other team that's been connected to Contreras, I think it's been more speculation talk than anything, has been the Cardinals. But then I was reminded today that if the Cardinals end up signing Wilson Contreras, they would give up their second-round pick next year, and they would give up $500,000 in international free agent money, which isn't a very Cardinal thing to do.
No, it isn't. I think that's more of like a fear thing for Cubs fans because if he does go to the Cardinals, he's an all-star.
Not only that, he's gonna he's gonna kill the Cubs so bad.
Yes, he's gonna pull a Jose Abreu in Wrigley Field and just hit 100 home runs in 3 games.
Like he'll have more home runs against the Cubs.
And then it'll be a 3-story bat flip this time.
He's turning around and just gunning the bat at the owner's box.
Like it's going to be a stat. Like Wilson Contreras had more home runs against the Cubs than all the Cubs catchers had all year.
Yeah, but continuing down our list here, they combined Jose Abreu with Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo did opt out of his deal with the Yankees, but he did make it clear that he would like to re-sign there, but just needs to get new paper, which I don't even know if that's a slam dunk. But the writer here, let's give the writer credit. Who wrote this article, by the way? Because we're just ripping all his shit.
Is it Kylie McDaniel?
Tim Britton.
Never mind.
Tim Britton at The Athletic. Go subscribe.
I think Kylie McDaniel is with ESPN.
But he says he envisages both players getting deals around 2 years or right around 36 mil. First of all, that just kills the White Sox. Like, I mean, if you had any glimmer of hope, the White Sox giving Jose Abreu 2 for 36 is
it's a little higher than I thought.
2 for 46.
46.
Or like,
Good
yeah.
Lord, that's a lot of money.
Well, I mean, did you guys remember when I shared it to you? I think a few days ago, John Heyman, his predictions. Whoever the hell he was talking to, he's like Jose Abreu. Maybe he gets 3 years, 75 million. It's like, who the fuck?
You know, more power to him. I hope he does. If he's not signed for like a discount deal, I hope he goes to the Marlin for 3
Why don't
years.
you just make it 4 for an even hundo? I mean, just get it.
What are we talking about?
That one,
I think we can all agree. Love Jose Abreu, but holy shit.
At that price, it's been real.
That is just,
we'll see you again when the statue's up.
Yeah, I mean, that is just yeesh. But
Poor dude. He'll be.
We've talked about it ad nauseum about Jose Abreu, and I think every team that we mentioned for Jose Abreu, you can pretty much put in play for Anthony Rizzo, because their entire careers they've been put next to each other, with the north side south side thing, and then just now they're essentially extremely similar players statistically. I'd still rather have Jose Abreu, but that's just because I'm a Sox fan. But I mean, we've said Houston. I could see either one of them going to Houston. I really think Tony signs with the Yankees again. I mean, we talked about how it's tough to play there. Tony's embraced it. He's got the whole like Italians behind him. Like, it's a thing in New York.
Yeah.
Anthony Rizzo. I don't see him coming back to the Cubs at all. I think it's more likely Jose Abreu ends up on the Cubs than Anthony Rizzo.
Oh yeah, no shot. Rizzo's going back to the Cubs.
The Cubs are going to sign Jose Abreu. Like, Anthony Rizzo hates the Cubs.
Right. The Marlins are in play. Houston's in play. San Diego's in play. Ooh, Anthony Rizzo goes full circle.
Ooh, back to I was going to just say Jose Abreu to San Diego.
I'd actually be pumped for him if he did that.
That'd be cool. The team the Sox wish they had with Abreu, Machado.
The Padres are literally the team that the White Sox wish they had.
Yeah, and Jose Abreu fits very well on that team.
He would be perfect for that team.
Mm-hmm.
I think you get an upgrade at first base, and he fits well.
Also, that and just we've seen Jose's ability to mentor the younger players in this league. I mean,
Lord knows Tatis needs it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. They're going to put an ankle monitor on him. I mean, it's just
get Jose Abreu and his fat lip, packing a fat one, coming up and talk to him. I mean, he's going to be scared straight.
But yeah, and then the next one here, now we're getting into, we're definitely deep in the middle tier now. We got Andrew Benintendi.
Wrist surgery. Yeah. I don't think so.
3 years, 42 mil.
Yeah, I ain't paying that.
I know the White Sox need an outfielder. If it got announced tomorrow that the White Sox signed Andrew Benintendi, I'd be like upset. I'm like, you have this whole buffet of food and you like went straight for like the yams. Like,
back in the summer, I think I was personally embarrassed on this show when we were having the discussion of Benintendi versus Byron Buxton. And I was like, there's no way Benintendi's been any good for any portion of his career. And we looked at the numbers and like he had like a better runs created plus than Buxton. And I was like, oh, okay. So speaking as a hater of Benintendi, I would also be upset if the Cubs signed.
He was fine, but in this article, his comp is basically AJ Pollock's free agent case from 4 years back. Like, he's on the same trajectory plus the wrist surgery, and as Brian says in the comments, doesn't get hard contact.
Yeah, no,
White Sox don't need another dink and dunk type guy.
They need some guy that can hit for power. Yeah, they need some power.
I can see how that could be brought up for the Sox just because obviously
after
with Pollock opting out.
Yeah.
But with the Cubs, like he can only really play left field. The Cubs already have a good left fielder, so pass.
Yeah, and then the last one on here is Jurickson Profar.
Would you guys be interested? I was thinking about
shout out me for pronouncing his name correctly. One shot.
Jurickson Profar.
Yeah, it's just because I watched every playoff game, so I heard his name like a million times. What do they got?
He's a legend.
3 years. I can't see the 36 million. He's good.
He's been. I think his offensive numbers have increased over the years. past couple years
Yeah.
with the Padres.
I just
He can play second base, left field.
He can play second base.
I think he played a little infield now. I think when he was with the A's, so that was before his time with the Padres. I'm not sure how much he's played recently.
Yeah,
Outfielder though, and
it doesn't really move the needle for me.
well, especially for the White Sox, he's had a season where he had first baseman playing the outfield. Now you're gonna have an outfielder playing the infield. That's a recipe for success. I don't think.
As we were coming up to the hour on the show here, please make sure to hit the like button if you're watching us live, and even if you're listening to it, go to YouTube and hit the like button, and also hit the subscribe button. During this off season, we are going to do a bunch of like contests and giveaways for people subscribing. But even if you subscribe now, you will be entered into future contests. Like, don't hold off for free shit. Just do it now.
So I am looking
promise
at
we'll
his
do it.
fielding numbers. He has started.
I think he's one of those like
192 games at second base, but that hasn't been since he was with Texas.
I think he's one of those like super utility guys though. Like he's played everywhere. Yeah, as Brian said in
Yeah.
the comments right now, he's played everywhere.
Yeah, but that most of it. But yeah, he's been
Jurickson
playing like
Profar
mostly outfield with the Padres since they trade for him.
Doesn't move the needle for me whatsoever.
I agree.
It doesn't move. And then before we
But
get
do you
into
trust? Oh, never mind.
before we get into he's on this list, so I can wait to get to him. The next one here, Josh Bell, 3 years, $40 million. Sounds good for the future Cub.
I love it. Get him and Abreu.
Why would you do that? I
You
like
need somebody
actually
to split
think-
time at first
Good
base,
Trey
and then another guy
Mancini on the market too.
I
and
actually
then get
think,
Mancini.
I actually like Josh Bell. I mean, again,
Damn
for
it.
a big guy to be a switch hitter like that, and no, he's not,
Trey
Ken
Mancini.
Ken Griffey Jr. in the outfield, but he can play the outfield in a pinch. Next one on this list, Gary Sanchez, 2 years, $18 million. Pass. Again, Gary Sanchez, not 40 years old, like I previously thought on last show.
The Sanchez?
I just pass. Next one.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Gary Sanchez. Oh my God, I have Sanchez stuck in my head. If like the Tigers don't sign Contreras, I can see them doing Gary Sanchez.
That does feel like a Tigers move.
It was like last year when everyone thought that they were like for sure gonna get Correa, and then they ended up with Baez. Like this would be the equivalent.
So, as you guys know that listen to the show, we have our regulars in the comment section who I love all of them. I can't wait to have a shot and a beer with all of them. But he's a movie critic. Our guy Lil Yumper watches show. Savo and Yumper at the show on the Tainted Glove Network. But watching his character arc of like Cubs fan to like ultimate Cubs, like he's so pissed off at the Cubs, and
He's David Kaplan, yeah.
It's
I love
been phenomenal to watch. And he says in the comment, Gary Sanchez, you are a Chicago Cub.
I can 100%. I will do a tattoo bet that Gary Sanchez won't sign with the Cubs.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
I'll speak as Fitz proxy. He'll take that bet.
Because you know why? Gary Sanchez isn't a good defensive catcher. The Cubs' main reason that they're even like haven't even engaged in any contract talks with Wilson Contreras is because they don't believe he's like even average at catching.
So what tattoo are you getting when Gary?
I'll get like a Gary like a GS tattooed somewhere.
No,
on my body.
what's Gary Sanchez's number?
24, I think.
24?
I think it's 20.
I have no idea.
I think it's 24. You have to get 20. If he signs with the Cubs, you have to get 24 tattooed on your ass.
I'll do it on the bottom of my foot, and if he doesn't, Lil
On the bottom
Yumper
of
has
your
to get a
foot?
24
That's gonna
tattoo.
hurt.
Well, I'm gonna make it very small.
That bottom
still
of your
gonna
foot
hurt.
is so
That's
painful, dude. Those people that get their whole bodies tattooed don't even do the bottom of their feet.
It's okay.
And all
But
there's this
Lil
stuff
Yumper
out
has to
there.
agree. If he doesn't sign with the Cubs, he also has to get 24.
I don't think you're gonna get that out of him.
I mean, the offer's on the table, boys. If we want to
He
talk
needs-
some
he
trash,
needs-
we can
He
talk.
needs
some
better. He needs better odds.
What if he gets he can get one of those like temporary tattoos on his face? Then he just
trash.
has
You
to
get a
wear.
henna. There you go. What's
Yeah.
it called?
That's better.
Yep. I actually saw this stuff. They make this stuff now where it's like a lotion. You put it on where you're gonna get your tattoo, and you don't feel the tattoo when you get a tattoo.
I'll do that on my foot.
It's crazy. I mean, I don't even know if I believe it, but the next one, the reason
And
why
when I
started,
say I will get a tattoo, I mean Kevin.
yes, 100%. Yeah, Fizz is the king of tattoo bets, and he's not here. Fizz is getting the tattoo.
It's fits, yeah.
Next on the list, and the reason why I was smiling because I'll take either one of these next two guys.
Oh, you're two lovebirds.
Adam Frazier, 2 years, 18 mil. And then Brandon Drury, 2 years, 17 mil. Out of the two, if I had a Zoe power rankings, Drury, Frazier.
I agree with you.
But I'd take either one of those guys. Throw them at second base. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Are you at all concerned that Brandon Drury was like on steroids in 2022?
I want him
And
to
that's
do
why he
more.
was good.
I want him to do more steroids.
I agree. We need home run hitters.
I don't think. The
Well,
only
no,
problem
he's going to get busted now.
The
Well,
only
I
problem
mean,
I have is he didn't do enough steroids. I need more steroids out of Brandon Drury. I don't know, dude. I get on these players like I become like a huge fan of them for no reason at all. And Brandon Drury 100% falls in that category. Hits for pop, not really great against righties, but our new hitting coach will fix him.
not great against righties. He sounds like a White Sox already.
Yeah, I mean, he fits right in there. Next on the list is White Sox, or guy who should have been on the White Sox about a decade ago, Michael Brantley. 1 year, 16 mil.
Do it now.
I'm good. This one, the next two are also potential White Sox. Mitch Haniger, 1 year, 15 million. For 1 year, 15 million, I roll the dice on Mitch Haniger.
I'll ask you out of these three guys: Mitch Haniger, Jock Peterson, Cody Bellinger.
Cody Bellinger.
I mean, Cody Bellinger, but I don't think Jock. I don't think is going to come. He's had chances to sign. We've had chances to get him. I just don't think he wants.
Well, if you fucking tweeters weren't keep tweeting about it, you guys would have had him.
That's right, Mitch. Remember, we ruined that deal. But as someone, when I went to that game in San Francisco this year, Jock is treated like a goddamn king in San Francisco. He had the entire bleachers in left field chanting "Jock has a horse cock." Like, they love him in San Francisco. I didn't realize he's like the hometown guy in San Francisco. I think he might even take a team-friendly deal to stay on the Giants. Like, he just wants to stay there.
They love him despite the fact he's a former Dodger too, which tells you all I need to know.
Yeah, I mean, but for 1 year, 15 mil, I roll the dice on Mitch Haniger if I don't get my Cody Bellinger trade.
I would be fine with it too, especially if you have like you got Oscar coming up through the pipeline, so you have a little bit of insurance there. So I wouldn't be opposed. The upside's there.
Shout out to Mitch's uncle Rick Hahn for already trying to plant the seed that like Cola's coming up is going to be the big move.
Oh yeah, I mean,
look, we had a seat at the table, and he's got a lot of talent, and he's pretty cheap.
I'm telling you guys, as much bullshit as Jed Hoyer and Rick Hahn say in the media, whenever Rick Hahn has said like, yeah, like we're not going to be doing this in free agency, he doesn't. He doesn't lie to you. He doesn't do it. Last year, I think, or a few years ago, when they're like, yeah, right field, we're going to look for internal options. You got Gavin Sheets.
So Mitch Haniger will be 32 in this upcoming season. What did he do last year? I mean, he hit 246, only 11 home runs though, Mitch. Those are
wasn't he hurt though? Like
he only had 224 at bats.
All right, so
I mean, he only played 57 games. Like,
what did he do in 2021?
His last full season was 2021. 253, 318, 486 with an OPS of 804. He hit 39 home runs.
I'll take that. I mean, hell, he hits 25 with those numbers, and I think that's solid.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, for that amount of money, for a 1 year, prove it, $15 million, he fills a need for the White Sox.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I can see.
Granted, he's not the lefty power bat that we all know we need, Bellinger. But it brings me to the next name, though, which I get why everybody's gung ho about this guy, but I also have strong reservations about Michael Conforto. Why did no one grab him then last year?
Well, he was coming off the surgery.
Playing after an injury like that, the rust is going to be real. And like you said, the fact no one picked him up is slightly concerning too. For a team like the White Sox, and I can't speak for the Cubs over there, but I mean, the window's closing. You got to win now. Why? I'm not taking a flyer on a guy that just missed a full season. I'd rather if I'm going to take a flyer on an outfielder, I'm taking a Mitch Haniger over him.
I agree. And Conforto in these projections, 1 year, 14.5 mil. Like, I get it. That's like whatever you basically got that paid for with AJ Pollock not, opting back in, which we haven't even talked about yet. We're gonna get to that in just a second because that was fucking crazy. But I don't know. I get it. I do. I get it. But I also am not very gung ho about it, like at all. Like I don't think it's like Michael Conforto. That's the answer.
No.
Yeah, no, especially because you guys.
I don't think it's that big of an upgrade from AJ. For being honest,
I was gonna say for like you guys are in a position where like obviously all the pressure's on. You just had a woefully underperforming year. Like you said, Mitch, that would be like a very risky. Like, yeah, Michael Conforto is our big free agent splash after not playing for like a year.
And this is a good
but if
point.
I'm a team like the Cubs, I am jumping all over the 1 year prove it deal for like a guy like Conforto.
That makes sense. And what Brian says here in the comments, Boris kept him back is what he's guessing. If he came back for 4 or 6 weeks or whatever and then never got the dust off, it would significantly hurt his market in this free agency, which okay. That scenario does make sense, but that's a pretty big gamble, man, because I got to imagine he's got to do one of those, showcases or something where he's got to show these teams that he's still capable of doing what he does. But I mean, if the White Sox do end up getting him, I hope he comes back as the player of old,
Does he play center field or is it just right field?
Let me look. I'm pretty sure it's just right field, but let me look because we're all about facts here. Mitch, do you know the story about why we say we're all about facts here?
I do not.
One of our first reviews on Apple or the podcast or whatever was like, really great show, love the banter. They got this one stat wrong. I really wish they would look their stats up. And so that's why we make sure we tell people we're about the facts.
Okay, Michael Conforto, 133 career starts in center field.
Okay, right. Yeah, he's played.
Good for him. That doesn't do us anything. We got.
I'm talking about Mitch.
334 right fielder.
I can't
9 games in left. 146 in center. I mean, how old will he be? He'll be 30 years old this season.
Like if he's only going to get a 1 year deal, and if I'm the Cubs need a center fielder, and they don't need to sign someone long term.
So in 2021, he played 125 games. He hit 14 home runs with a 232 batting average and an OPS of 729. Like, why are people getting a boner over this guy?
Because look at his entire career.
Pitching is difficult. He had a year off where he didn't see any. So he's coming from a bad year, then a year he didn't face any pitching, and then you expect him to put up good numbers? I don't see.
I mean, I hope to God he makes me eat my words if the White Sox sign him, but this doesn't put a tent in my pants. We'll put it that way.
He has a career 824 OPS. Pretty good.
I get that. Well, his in 2020 his OPS was 927 in the
I don't care what happened in 2020.
I know, but I'm just saying, 2017 was easily his best year when he was an all-star. He had an OPS of 939 with a 279 batting average, and he hit 27 home runs. The most home runs he's ever hit in a season was 33 in 2019.
Oh, wow. Only 33?
I'm just saying,
he's not going to. I mean, he's not going to
the
get.
Way that he's being
signing
portrayed,
him to a 5-year, $130 million contract.
The reason I'm speaking in this tone is the way I'm seeing White Sox fans talk about him. It's like they talk about him like they're signing Aaron Judge. Like Conforto isn't like
He would be the Aaron Judge of White Sox right fielders historically.
we
He'd
don't
be
know
the
that
next
though.
Omar Marzara of White
Yeah.
Sox outfielders.
We don't know that though. Like I don't know. The next
Well, you're signing him because you believe in the track record.
right. I'm good on the next 3 names on this list. This guy thinks someone's gonna give Joey Gallo $13 million.
The Angels.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one.
The Angels.
Now, Joey
Oh.
Gallo, if you're going to take a flyer on someone, he solid outfielder, got a good arm, can play right field, left-handed pop.
Gold glove outfielder, hits bombs, strikes
Joey Gallo.
7 out of 10 at bats, but
So does he?
man.
God, he'll fit right in.
But Kevin keeps saying that he's West Coast soft.
He is West Coast soft. We learned that. JD Martinez, 1 year, 10 mil.
Mental health is very important.
Sox have like 15 DHs. They don't need JD Martinez.
Pass.
And then the last one on this list is Kevin Kiermaier, 1 year, 9 mil. I mean, you might as well just keep Adam Engel at that point. So that's this guy's list. It's a pretty good article. Again, it's in the Athletic. What did I say the guy's name? Tim Britton.
Tim Britton.
Yeah, check that out. Appreciate that article. But one thing that we need to talk about, because I don't know, talk about burying the lead. AJ Pollock opted out of his goddamn contract with the White Sox.
Did he hate the White Sox that much?
I think so. I mean, you go from playing in LA, and then you got to come to Chicago. He's already miserable, and then you didn't play all that well.
I never in a million years thought that was going to happen.
I can see he didn't look very happy. I mean, I didn't see it either, but you get the buyout for $5 million. I mean, really, all he has to do, he just gets $7 million in free agency, and he's right back to where he was. $8 million in free agency, and keep breaking even. Can play where you want.
I guess he could get maybe like $8 million for like a year or two. Option maybe.
Yeah.
Because as bad as he was, he's 1 year removed from being the best offensive player, really the most productive guy in the Dodgers the year before. I just got
super distracted because Fitz just put in our chat that he's at whatever show he's at. Brandy Love is there.
Hello.
Mercy.
Get some vids of her, Kevin.
I just told him, I go, get a video of her now. I mean, Lord knows I've seen enough videos.
Don't we already have the porn people in the chat that sponsored? They're always jumping in the chat.
Well, we can get a new one, Mitch. Let's not limit our horizons.
Mm-hmm.
And we're our sponsors.
But I totally see AJ Pollock going to like the Angels.
I guess. I don't even know. Yeah.
Back to California. They'll probably give him 13 mil or something stupid. And yeah.
Miami's looking for some hitters. Go hang out on the beach.
I think he wants to go. I think the whole point he got out of this was because he wants to go back out west.
All right.
That's just my thought. I
have no idea what AJ because isn't he like 32? 30.
Hold on, we're all about facts.
I'm gonna say 34. No, 33.
He is turning 35 on December 5th.
I mean, what? Who the hell is going to give him $8 million?
I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's just done.
Well, maybe
you could be done for 13 million.
Wait.
If you're AJ Pollock, though, I mean, it is surprising. Like, I thought he was going to opt in, but when you look at it, it's not that surprising. He had a miserable season with the Sox. The clubhouse file reports are dysfunctional. Like, why? I think he wants to get as far away from there as possible. He's like, why? I'm wiping my slate clean. I don't want to deal with that again.
Maybe the new manager, Big G, came in and was just like, bro, I'm just going to tell you right now, you're not really like part of my plan. Like,
that could have been too.
Yeah, true.
I do need to make an apology because this whole time I thought he was like born and raised like West Coast dude. I didn't realize he's from fucking Connecticut and went to Notre Dame.
All right.
So that just takes out my Angels theory. So yeah, maybe the Marlins.
It's because he played with the Diamondbacks and then the Dodgers. That's why he was a West Coast guy.
Go to the Pirates. Whoever.
No, I'm telling you, Miami.
Whoever pays you, AJ, just go, dude. He seems like a good enough guy. Just didn't work out. I was actually pumped when they got him.
I think he's got some baseball left in him. He's down here.
Yeah, I mean, he had spurts, but
He had 14 home runs. That's a lot for the White Sox. Stan.
I was like, what, top 3 on the team?
Yeah,
It was a lot for the Whites. Wasn't it all against lefties?
most likely.
Yeah. I mean, whoever pays you, bud, just get paid. Good for you.
Are you
right
going to
there.
miss AJ Pollock leading off? for you
No,
guys?
not at all. And
He was
thank-
great against lefties.
thanks for the extra $8 million, though, bud.
That's clutch.
That's
Okay, now quick question. Like, they have to sign another outfielder, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But, we do have Oscar Cole in the system.
That's the thing.
The cheap option. The option I'm fully expecting to be playing right field for the Chicago White Sox next
I think
year.
Oscar Coles is going to be. I think he's going to be a player in this league. It's not a good sign though, as we sit here on November 9th, and Han's already like prepping White Sox fans for Colas being the guy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which just basically tells me
Before Vaughn came up in 2021, like everyone knew well beforehand, like we needed a DH, and everyone knew it was going to be Vaughn. He had everyone prepped. Very similar to this.
Han, in one of Han's sound clips or whatever, he did straight up just say like, we do need to make some additions in free agency, but it most likely trade.
Can I read you guys this from The Athletic, James Fagan?
Yep, that was a really good article. I know what article you're looking at. James did a really good job with that.
So James Fox pulled out this paragraph from James Fagan's article on the White Sox.
Mm-hmm.
This is what he says. Last season's payroll, estimated at $196 million by Fangraphs, was not a top 5 figure in MLB, but it was easily a franchise record and indicative that the franchise feels its time to compete is now. But that figure also reflects some level of expensive accrued over the season, with a team source indicating that an opening day figure in the territory of $180 million is more what the club has in mind.
That's
Right now, the current Fangraphs estimate for the 2023 Sox payroll is $173 million. And while that could be knocked down a few million by some non-tenders and is an imperfect replication of the team's internal numbers, it would make top-level free agent signings unlikely and could be a consideration of what sorts of trades they can execute. If there's one thing the White Sox are not touting about themselves this offseason, is their payroll flexibility.
Yeah, it's not the time to get cheap, but
it sounds like they're going to get cheap.
It's probably the worst time for them to get cheap, but shit. Well, we'll see. I mean,
James Fagan, The Athletic.
I know it is November. A lot of things can happen because then you have Fagan saying that in The Athletic, and then I'm not a big fan of the guy, but John Heyman saying basically the complete opposite on 670 The Score.
Over the years,
that Jerry's going to spend and blah 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 blah.
Over the years,
could be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, over the years, I've now gotten used to John Heyman just having a lot of opinions, and people, because he is a national reporter, they take it as fact. And this goes for every team.
I think that's fair.
But because that just doesn't add up to where the White Sox are.
No, everything
or what they've done historically.
Everything he said in that interview, I was just like, "What? Are we talking about? Are you talking about the Chicago White Sox? Like, huh?"
Didn't he say on a podcast last year too that Baez, there's a good chance he comes back to the Cubs? I heard I forget who it was. But I remember writing about, there was someone threw it in the chat. They're like, "Oh yeah, this guy said on his podcast that Baez can come back." I think it was Heyman
because Heyman he does they're not daily, his weekly hits on 670 The Score, and obviously it's a lot of big audience in Chicago, and obviously he writes for the New York Post now. But a lot of what he said, and some things do end up coming true, and he does have sources. We can't be like he doesn't have anyone,
right?
But a lot of the stuff that he does say, it's either taken stuff that is kind of out there, speculation wise, and then but then we treat it as fact. But yeah, because that just doesn't go in line with the White Sox position right now.
Like not at all.
Yeah.
Not in the least. But
we'll see. I mean, Zoe, if they follow your plan, they can free up a big chunk. They
Yeah.
trade Hendricks.
which they should. Yeah, but that's pretty much the free agent carousel as it stands right now. Uh, Obviously, if something else happens or breaks or anything like that, we'll definitely jump back on. And before we dive into the Cubs offseason plan, I do want to remind everybody that show tonight is brought to you by Uncle Bud's new bar restaurant in Oak Lawn, 9700 South Cicero, opening on November 10th. Make sure you go check them out. Great food menu. Again, golden tea, darts. It's great. Just great bar to go hang out at. And when you go there, make sure you tell them Zoe sent you. All right, Aldo. Uncle Bud's.
Before we get into the Cubs offseason plan, I was going to ask you guys, predicting, who do you think is like the first big free agent to sign? Trey Mancini to the Cubs.
No, that's more of like oh crap, it's spring training's coming up. We haven't signed anyone yet. All right, Mancini, we got a former All-Star.
Jacob deGrom to the Braves.
I like that. No, I think he's going to the Rangers though.
Oh, I think I like little yumpers. If that happens.
Dude, I just said Jacob deGrom to the
Oh,
Braves.
okay. Okay.
I
I
think
was reading the
Braves-
other Jesse Rogers news.
the
Did you see
Braves
this?
just- oh yeah. I won't get into the whole story of it, but I am not a fan of Jesse Rogers.
Respect the sources.
Yeah, the Rangers is the Braves a huge favor and took on the Jake Odorizzi
Odorizzi?
contract.
Oshie?
So that clears up some space for him. But as we were talking about earlier today, basically the Braves don't fuck around. The Braves, they always seem to make the moves early in the free agent period in the off season. They don't like to leave a lot to chance.
Not only do they not fuck around, we were talking about like all these different leaks happening and like all these reports already connecting the Cubs to different players.
Tighter than a seal's ass, man.
The Braves just do it, and they just announce the moves on their Twitter page.
Like we can easily just wake up tomorrow or tomorrow afternoon, you're eating lunch, and it's just like Jacob deGrom has signed a blah 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 deal with the Atlanta Braves. Like they just don't.
It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to check if it's the right verified Twitter account, though.
Yeah, good God. Is Elon Musk really that smart? Everyone tells me he's a genius. I don't think he's that smart.
I don't know. I'm about to drop $8 a month though to have my check mark finally.
Yikes! I'm just kidding.
Yep. I don't care. I'm gonna do
No,
it.
Zo, wait, Zo. Do it, but like become a fake Braves account and then just start announcing these deals until you get suspended.
I'll just start dropping like White Sox sign Aaron Judge.
Do that. Just become do like a different username, change your profile picture before you sign up for Twitter Blue, and then start announcing all these.
They don't let you change your profile picture once you sign up for Twitter Blue.
No, that's what I'm saying.
What the hell am I spending my $8 for if I can't even change the profile?
Well, they do it so you can't do exactly what Aldo just said.
Well, I'm saying so. Do it before. Change your.
That's so much work.
Not really.
It really is though, because then I can't change it back, and I'll always have like Jeff Passan's picture as my profile picture.
I think we'll get Fids and we'll each pitch in $2, and then we can make a fake insider account, and then we'll get the check.
Make a fake Kaplan account.
Yeah,
there you go.
Fids would love it. Fids would absolutely love it. Stay tuned for that.
I think.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. But all right, Aldo.
All right, here we go.
So for those of you that didn't catch the show last week, we did the White Sox offseason plan last week. So before you get started, Aldo, you have to have a spending limit.
Okay, what do you guys think is fair?
What was their payroll in 2022?
Well, okay, it is unfair now because they were not trying to win.
What was their payroll?
That's not what he's asking. Yeah.
What was their payroll in 2022?
Let me look it up.
Well,
It was probably like in the 160s, I think.
I'm gonna give you more money. I just need to know where.
2022 Cubs payroll. Any guesses?
165.
Oh wait, I'm the wrong man. I'm the wrong guy to be looking this up. My computer's about to freeze, probably.
All right, hold on. I'll look it up.
Okay.
All right. Cubes. Oh. 2022. Hopefully it goes faster than it did last week. All right, here we go. 2022 they had
194 million.
Yep, 194. I'll give you 200 million.
What was it last year?
194.
194.
Was it really?
Yeah, because they just had a lot of bad money.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Like Jason Hayward was making. I mean, Jason Hayward is still on this year's payroll.
Yeah.
And I mean, they paid for a few guys.
Yeah, I'll give you 200.
All right, 200 reasonable.
All right. Just have to delete a few things. well, I mean, you know what? I'll restructure some of these deals. That's fine.
Well, all right.
What did you have them at?
Yeah.
I think my final one was like at 222.
No,
which is 11 million below the luxury tax payroll, and then next year
205.
205.
No, that's fine. It's fine because there's a few ones I can take off.
205.
Actually, there's one I'm going to take off, and then we can work out a trade.
Okay.
That's fine.
You
I'll
want
work. Okay,
205. 200.
So
we'll give you an extra 5 million.
We'll give you 205, but you have to have a cap. Otherwise, you're just going to sign everyone, and it makes it more fun when you have a cap.
Well, I was doing the cap because the Cubs, I think their highest has been 218 all time.
205 seems reasonable.
205.
All right, here we go. So I'm going to start off the guaranteed money that the Cubs have under contract for 2023 before we even try to sign anybody else.
All right, let me get a calculator up.
Yep. This is the luxury tax salary. So it's the average annual value of the contracts because that's really what these fucking teams care about because they don't want to go over the luxury tax.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. So Marcus Stroman is $23,666,667. And yes.
All that 23.
No. And yes, I calculated this to the very last dollar.
So 23.6. All right, keep going.
Jason Hayward, dead money at 23 million.
Okay.
Kyle Hendricks at 13.875 million.
Okay.
Seiya Suzuki, 17 million.
Okay.
And then Yan Gomes, 6.5 million, and David Bodie, 3 million. And that's a total of $87,041,667.
So I got you at 86.975.
I just rounded up to 87.
87.4.
87. So we gave you what, 205?
Yep.
So you got 118 to fuck with.
No, don't worry. There's still more. Here we go. Arbitration players. The Cubs have 10 arbitration eligible players. I'll run them down who I think they're going to bring back. Ian Happ, 10.6 million.
10.6. Okay.
Nico Horner, 2.2 million.
What a deal.
Yep. He might get an extension though. Who knows?
He's no Tim Man.
He's better. If you listen to Kevin. Beef Love's favorite, Cody Huer, 800,000.
Oh man.
What a steal.
I was gonna mess with my calculations, but go ahead.
Zoe's favorite, Nick Madrigal, 1.1 million.
1.1. Okay.
And then these are there's no more numbers, but here are the other arbitration eligible guys that I'm going to non-tender. Left-handed
Wait, if you're non-tendering them, then I don't need a.
Yeah, I'm saying you don't have. Okay. There's no more money for this part.
Okay.
So Steven Brault, left-handed pitcher, non-tender. Franmil Reyes, DH, non-tender. Rowan Wick, right-handed pitcher, non-tender. Alec Mills, right-handed pitcher, non-tender. Brad Wick, I mean, he's like recovering from Tommy John surgery, non-tender. And Rafael Ortega, who the Sox should have traded for, non-tender.
You're not going to tender Reyes? Then
He was really bad after the first 3 weeks. And if the Cubs do want to bring him back, they can bring him back for cheap, but they don't have to do that because they're going to sign Jose Abreu. So that the arbitration numbers, so that goes up to $14.7 million.
By the way, I agree with Yumper. I think Madrigal does have a bounce back year until he gets hurt in May.
He's going to have a great time with a different National League team. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so what are we up to? Like 100 and...
Let's call it an even 103.
All right, so here are the Cubs free agents heading into the offseason. Wilson Contreras, Wade Miley, Drew Smiley, Sean Newcomb, Michael Hermosillo, and Jackson Frazier, the artist formerly known as Clint Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
Wilson Contreras is going to get the qualifying offer. He's going to decline it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Cubs have to pay Drew Smiley $1 million for his buyout.
So I got to take $1 million out of here.
So add $1 million in there.
Okay.
All right, here are other costs. This is from Fangraphs. The estimated salaries for pre-arbitration and non-guaranteed contracts is $11.5 million.
So what, I got to take out 11.5?
Well, you just have to keep adding, or I don't know which way you were doing it.
I'm
were you
going
doing
down.
205 minus?
Yeah.
So all these are minus.
All right, so you're at 102 right now. Minus what?
11.5.
Okay.
And then the estimated salaries for 40-man roster players in the minors, that's $2.5 million.
Wait, 102.1, and then what I subtract there?
$2.5 million. Don't worry, I have all the numbers here.
All right, and then subtract. There was an 11 in there, wasn't there?
$11.52 million.
Okay.
Estimated player benefits to be paid, $16.5 million.
Jesus Christ.
I told it. I was very excited
Yep.
before Wednesday morning. Payment into the $50 million pre-arbitrational bonus. That's another $1.6 million. 1.67 you can put.
So you're at 69. Nice. 0.91 right now.
The Cubs still owe Jonathan Villar $1.5 million.
That stings a little bit.
And then I was rudely reminded that the Cubs are giving the Padres money for Yu Darvish. That's another $1 million.
How rude. So you're at 67.41 still.
So my total, and I did the other way, I'm adding up all these numbers. So the collective bargaining tax payroll heading into free agency for the Cubs, I have them at $137,428,334. Let's go spending.
Mm-hmm. So
Again, a reminder, the luxury tax thresholds for 2023. The first tier, $233 million. Second tier, $253 million. Third tier, $273 million. And for the first time ever, there's a fourth tier, guys, $293 million.
And let's also remind you that we gave you a limit of $205 million.
$205 million. So what is that? So I have $68 million to spend.
I got
That's
you.
right.
I got you. Yeah, 67, but go for it. I probably missed something.
Actually, no, you're right. Actually, you're right. No, you're right.
Yeah, I'd take my number too.
Let's see. I wrote out all the 40-man guys. That's incomplete right now, though. Deal number one.
Deal number one. Here we go. This is what I'm at.
Scratch it off. I'm not doing a shortstop anymore.
Fuck a shortstop.
Trey
We got
Mancini. We
got
got
I was
Nico.
going so I already told you guys my original was Carlos Correa for 8 years, 256, but apparently they don't want to do that. I wrote in like 5 hours ago. I put Xander Bogaerts at 5 years, $150 million, but I'm not loving that much as that one anymore.
Okay, so we're riding Nico at short.
So we're riding Nico at short, baby.
It's not a bad backup.
It's not bad, but I do need impact bat, though. We might have to do a trade or something. All right, big free agent signing. Here we go. Japanese pitcher, Kodai Senga, 4 years, $60 million.
That's not Trey.
$15 million average annual value, and I have a 5th-year option for him, also at $15 million.
Minus 15, so you're at 52.41 now.
Next deal, Jose Abreu, 2 years, $32 million.
Yeah.
That's another $16 million average annual value.
Not even gonna comment. You're at 36.41.
You know who'd be better than him?
Trey
You already know the
Mancini.
answer to
Not
that.
on my list. All right, so I have two former closers or guys who were closing games. I want the Cubs to sign one of these two guys, either Craig Kimbrell, 1 year, $5 million plus incentives,
Craig. Oh no.
or left-handed reliever Brad Hand, 1 year, $7 million.
Brad, I can get behind.
Pick one so I can take it off your.
I'm just gonna do the Craig Kimbrell one because that's lower, so that's $5 million.
So why do you want Dirty Craig? He sucks.
Cubs are gonna fix him now again. And then, a catcher. Cubs need another catcher because Wilson Contreras is going to be leaving. They only have Yan Gomes and PJ Higgins. Omar Narvaez, White Sox legend. 2 years, $10 million.
So minus
all
5.
right.
So $5 million AAV there. The Cubs need more relievers. So bring him back home. Another Cubs connection, former Cubs draft pick. He was with the Padres past 3 years, right-handed pitcher. Pierce Johnson, 2 years, $5 million.
So minus 2.5.
That's
and
2.5
by the way,
million.
he sounds like a Bond villain.
He went to San Diego and got long hair. I think he always had long hair.
Pierce Johnson.
And then another White Sox legend. He's been brutal. He was really bad in 2022, and he was kind of bad in 2021. But he was really great his entire career before then. The Cubs have been able to fix veteran pitchers. Alex Colomé, come on down. 1 year, $2 million.
Mr. Smiley.
Go
That
for
man
it,
never
buddy.
smiled. He was
Go for
terrible.
it. He was brutal.
Wait, Mitch, we've never had.
Colorado.
How much did you like Alex Colomé?
I like Alex Colomé. I thought he was
there you
solid.
go.
What, did he make you sweat it out? Sure, but he always got the job done. He scared me though, because he would get a win or something and he'd never smile. I never once saw that man smile. He scared the crap out of me.
I just wasn't a fan of walking the first two batters before he went to work every.
I mean, he was
time.
Liam Hendricks light.
The ERA speak for itself though. He was solid.
But that's also why I want to trade Liam Hendricks.
I love the optimism, Mitch. We need to get him back to his Sox days. That's what the Cubs are going to do. That's my plan.
I mean, as long as you don't if you're not banking on him to be your closer, I think that's a solid late inning option.
I also would like.
They just need another guy who's like pitched before.
I would like that move to happen to watch Ken W.O.
Well, I'd love it. He'd finally cheer for a Cub.
Yes, and Beef Loaf can keep using that picture that says you got Ken W.O. every time Colomé gets lit up.
How much money do I have left?
21.91.
All right. We have our first trade.
Someone do the ESPN sound.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
There it is.
Keegan Thompson, Nick Madrigal, and Nelson Velasquez to the Miami Marlins for Pablo Lopez.
Boy, the Marlins got ripped off.
Now, I know that is light, but all of you have been saying that Nick Madrigal is a great hitter, so why wouldn't the Marlins want a great hitter? Keegan Thompson is a good starting pitcher. Nelson Velasquez, he's a young outfielder. They need as many bats as they can get. More realistically, it would probably be Christopher Morel because he had the better year, stayed healthy. That's where I got this idea from. Shout out to Greg Zumak. He had the original idea of Keegan Thompson, Christopher Morel, and outfield prospect Yohendrick Pinango. Pronounce that.
Who's he play for?
He's in the minor league system for the Cubs right now.
So how much
over there too?
After you make that deal, what's that put on the payroll?
So that is if you subtract the league minimum for Madrigal and Velasquez and the Madrigal arbitration, and then you add Pablo Lopez's arbitration number, that's an additional $3.76 million.
All right, minus 3.76. So you're sitting on a cool 18.15.
Trade number 2. This one's a
Hit it.
little vague. I couldn't think of a pitching prospect, but Cubs trade a pitching prospect to the Minnesota Twins for outfielder Max Kepler.
I'd be very happy to see Kepler gone. So
Kepler has been really bad for the past 2-3
except
years.
against the White Sox.
Except for the White Sox, I guess. Put him in center field. Maybe you get the Twins to eat some of his money because, again, he's been really bad. I think he had a 666 OPS in 2022. Hell yeah. And I have him because you're not really giving up a lot. He's been bad. Get the Twins to eat some of his money. He is owed $8 million in 2022 or 2023, but I only had the Cubs taking on $4 million.
I was just the number I had in my head was 4, so that plays. So you're at 14.15.
All right, guys, let's do a trade because I can't afford any of the shortstop.
Nope, you can't afford any of the shortstops unless you give them like a 26-year deal. Bobby Bonilla, somebody.
This 205 limit really screwed me up here. Let's do.
Mitch, my limit was 190.
Okay, well.
Yeah, no, we gave him more money. I don't know what he's bitching about.
Well,
what are you talking about?
One of our teams has spent more than $210 million before.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Hey, those bars and casinos on Wrigleyville don't pay for themselves, pal. So
Nope.
getting 205, you're gonna like it.
Oh man, I mean, I'm gonna be annoyed that it's like not even gonna be close to this. What would it take? What do you think it would take to get Rafael Devers?
Oh, you ain't getting Rafi Devers. Rafi Devers' deal is gonna be announced tomorrow.
The latest report out of Boston is they are not close to an extension.
Oh no shit! I thought it was done deal.
They are not close. He wasn't happy last year with the offer that he got. They haven't been close on a deal.
I'm a big Rafi Devers fan.
He's fantastic. He would be the Cubs' third baseman for the next 10 years. I'd love it.
Let me see.
So what can we get done? Wait, first of all, what's his ARB number for next year? His contract number. Let's see if it even fits in, or if I have to trade somebody else.
Where the shit is Rafi Devers? Where is Rafi?
How about Pete Crow Armstrong, Ian Happ? Who else can we throw in there?
But Rafael Devers, he's going to be 26.
Hold on, I got you. So they estimate you can't afford Rafi.
That's fine. I'll trade somebody else.
They got him at 17.5.
Okay. That's fine. All right, so who do you think it would take to get him? Who off the MLB roster?
To get Rafi Devers?
Yeah. Well, name one guy because I'm going to be shopping some prospects right now.
Pete Crow Armstrong.
All right, one.
Hap.
Yeah, like
Right.
trade Happ. Yeah.
All right. So 10 points or 17 point whatever minus 10.6. That's only $7 million.
Who else is desirable on that?
Throw in like Brennan Davis.
Okay.
I think that gets it done.
It's done. Do it. Bam. Done it.
Would the Red Sox take that though?
Hap, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Brennan Davis for Rafi Devers.
Does Boston take that?
I think they need another sweetener.
Hold on. Let's go. Let's use that shitty trade website.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, there you go. Christian Hernandez, another shortstop prospect for the Cubs.
There you go.
Let's go to the old trade calculator. I gotta remember how to use this shit.
By the way, the Cubs could avoid this if they just, spend money.
Right. That'd be really nice.
That'd be ideal.
So the Cubs and the Red Sox. Here, should I share my screen so you guys can get in on the fun here?
Yeah, sure.
Share screen.
Maybe like a Ben Brown pitching prospect.
Oh, I can just share a window. That's even better. Okay.
Here we go.
So the Cubs trade to the Cubs. Let's sort by. What's that number? Where do you get the number? The median here. Oh, this is the Cubs. Then I gotta get to the Red Sox. Median. Devers. So
Shout
Devers
out
is
this website that makes all our dreams come true.
Yep. Devers to the Cubs. Oh, he's only 28.5, dude.
Ooh.
So you could just straight up trade a Crow Armstrong and it's a done deal.
Bang, done. Did it. All right.
Or you're gonna have to throw someone else in to get the extra 2 points here. So let's go down.
Javier Assad.
Here, you want to get rid of Ortega?
No, it's fine. He's gone already. We can make it more realistic.
What about Gray?
I think our initial trade, regardless of the calculator, will be.
No, we're going off this damn calculator
Here,
that I have
here.
always
You
said is
want
accurate.
MLB guy? There you go. Later, Nick Magical. So you got.
I already have him going to the. I already have him going
Oh,
to the
that's
Marlins.
right.
He's been traded.
He's already gone.
Oh, Patrick Wisdom. Send him Patrick Wisdom. They need a third baseman. Is Wisdom not worth 2 points?
Where's Wisdom?
Oh shit.
You're going the wrong way. Wisdom. Here you go. He's worth. Oh, dude, you're overpaying.
Oh, there you go. The
You're
Red Sox
overpaying.
would be stupid not to take this.
Yep.
All right, I'm doing it.
And that pretty much clears out the rest of your money, though.
That's fine.
right.
Those were literally all the moves.
All right, so there you go. You got Rafi Devers. Congratulations.
Hell yeah, love it.
I noticed you left off Trey Mancini there. What gives? You needed the veteran first base.
That's a
We got a break.
deadline move,
We got a break.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
and they got
But he's
to
still available in free
So-
agency.
right. Throw Devers in there, although, and rifle off your starting lineup.
So now we have. Get down here again. So at catcher we have, or this. I'm just going by position. Well, first the starting rotation is going to be Marcus Stroman, Pablo Lopez, Kodai Senga, Justin Steele, and then either Kyle Hendricks or Hayden Wesneski as the fifth starter. Catcher, you'll have Yan Gomes and Omar Narvaez. At second base, you're going to have Christopher Morel. Shortstop, Nico Horner. Third base, Rafael Devers. Left field, Ian Happ, because we didn't have to trade him, apparently. Love that. Center field, Max Kepler.
Love that for you.
Prove it, Max. Right field, Suzuki, and DHing when he's not playing. Oh, I missed first base. Jose Abreu. How could I forget Jose Abreu? And then when he's not playing first base, DHing Matt Mervis.
Solid squad. They're going to get bounced in the NLDS, but that's a solid squad.
It's a good team, man.
That is a good team. I didn't even have to spend a lot on. It hurts giving up Pete Crow Armstrong, but you got Rafael Devers.
Yep.
It's a good
You
team.
can do worse.
By the way, Rafael Devers, I think this is his first this is his last year of arbitration. He'll be a free agent after the season, so we're gonna have to work on that extension. But we can worry about that later.
I like it. It's a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Solid team.
Hold on. I'm making a trade for the White Sox because I'm on this site. I got something brewing here. Hold on here. Straight over. Starts with Liam Hendricks.
Oh, is it for Cody?
And yes, Joel Martinez, this is the bullshit site that Yankees fans use probably.
Yes. No, you don't have to trade for Cody because he's technically a free agent.
So, yeah, he's gonna get non-tendered.
Mm-hmm. Man, the White Sox, it's rough. You got to just keep adding names to this shit.
Just add Montgomery, or is he the highest?
Cease is the highest
Oh, okay.
by a lot. And then Luis Robert, but I won't adhere to the beef loaf tyranny of trading Luis Robert.
Did you see the other Jesse Rogers piece of information?
I don't read anything that man writes.
He didn't write it. It's on the radio. Well, I'm just bringing it up because Cubs fans were freaking out about what he said about the Cubs, so I have to bring up what he said about the White Sox.
Mhm.
Apparently, Lucas Giolito's on the trade block.
I mean,
He's not getting traded. Who's going to? I don't know. Maybe someone dumb would trade.
I don't think that's the big of a shocker as it would have been a year or two ago.
I
do-
think that would be terrible for the Sox to do.
you know.
Trading
I
him
don't
at his lowest value?
Yeah, I don't think they're not going to get the value they want for him. And I do think he's going to have a bounce back year. I don't think he's a bad pitcher. Did he have a crappy year? Yeah. Maybe he's not going to be that certified ace, but I don't see him being as bad as he was.
I also
He had 3 solid seasons in a row before that. Maybe the talent's there.
I also don't see them cleaning their entire staff out, but keeping Ethan Katz just to trade Lucas Giolito.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then the other big problem is you already need to sign a starting pitcher. If you trade Giolito, unless you're getting a starting pitcher back, now you have to get 2 starting pitchers.
Well, people forget. I mean, the starting rotation really wasn't the issue last year. So, like, if I'm spending money or making trades, like, that's the last thing that I'm addressing is the general manager. Like, sure, you need some more pitching, but I mean, I'm more worried about who they're getting as an outfielder or second baseman or some left-handed power than I am about what's happening with Lucas Giolito or who we're getting in the starting rotation. Because the starting rotation was solid. Bullpen overall was pretty solid, too. Pitching wasn't the issue.
Facts?
Yeah. One name that came up in B-Flow's offseason plan that I'd be ecstatic if the White Sox got him. And this does go to MLB The Show teaching me about prospects. But Bobby Miller, pitcher for the Dodgers in their system.
Oh, yeah.
If they can work him in the Hendricks deal, kid's electric stuff. Reminds me a lot of when Dylan Cease got here. Electric stuff, but control is the problem. If they can harness it like they did with Dylan, that kid, he's going to be the goods. So that's a name that I'm all excited about. I know everybody wants Gavin Lux. It'd be very nice, but I'd actually rather. No, we're not getting Gavin Lux. I'd actually rather have Bobby Miller. I mean, the Dodgers have quite the surplus of pitching.
And they need a closer. There's not many better than
If you can get a Dodgers prospect, pitching prospect, get him. He's probably going to be good.
That's very true.
So I brought up Max Kepler for the Cubs in trade. What do you think it would take? We don't have to do the website for this. Just off the top of your head here. Do you think the Mariners would trade Jared Kelenic?
With Mitch Haniger probably walking.
Probably not.
What if they signed Nimmo?
I don't think it's as hard of a no as one would think. I mean, I guess anything's really possible. It's just I don't really see it happening, but I don't think it's a hard no.
Do you guys remember Kyle Lewis?
Yeah.
Dude, talk about a guy falling off fast.
Yeah, and he's another dude that he has the talent. It's just getting it out of him. And
he's another guy who got sent back to AAA.
Kyle Lewis is like a White Sox type player. It's going to be a fun offseason. It's going to be
painful.
I don't think it can get worse. I think I'm numb after the whole Moncada. I can't think of his fucking name. Machado. The whole Machado Harper debacle. Like, I don't think the White Sox can do anything. And I mean, literally last offseason, the only position player they paid was Larry Garcia.
Josh Harrison.
He's a former All-Star. Who they just non
who's also unemployed now. And then
poor Josh.
They followed that grand performance up by doing literally almost absolutely nothing at the trade deadline. So it's just
the deeper we get in this,
you can't hurt me anymore. Can't hurt
the White Sox. It is painfully. It's like deja vu with after the 2018 Cubs, where you have this core of players who, at the time, none of them had extensions for the Cubs, but they were all under team control. They were going to be with the team until they were free agents or the summer of. So you're stuck in the thing where like they all at the same time had down seasons, so
Mhm.
you can't really trade them for max value. So you're kind of just hoping that they rebound big, and if they do, it's going to work out. But if like you keep seeing more of the same, you're like, I think Beefloaf wrote it when he was talking about the roster, how if you had all these DHs and first basemen on your team at the same time, kind of just painted into a corner of you're stuck. You can't really get out. You have no real flexibility. The AJ Pollock thing is like a gift from the heavens.
Yep.
So you got that at least, but other than that,
Yeah,
it's tough.
but then you pull up the White Sox 2023 payroll and you see Joe Kelly 9 million, Kendall Graveman 8 million, Jake
Joe
Degman
Kelly,
3.5
$9
million, Larry Garcia 5.5 million. It's just so much bad money, dude.
Yeah, the Larry Garcia, that was not necessary.
It's just so much bad money, and it's to this point though where like this team can't really like piss me off like that anymore. Like I'll get mad, but like you're not going to see this again. You're not going to see me like just completely fly off the handle again because you can't. I don't know. I just expectations were low, but holy fuck, you know what I mean? It's like
Like, let's say they get another Josh level type free agent, and that's their big move.
I don't know. Someone's mic is creating hella feedback right now.
Is that mine?
It's Mitch,
Oh.
but yeah, I don't know. It's just I can be disappointed, but I also tweeted something out today where I am very convinced that even if the White Sox went out and got like Aaron Judge, Trey Turner, and Jacob deGrom this offseason, there's still be a significant fraction of the White Sox Twitter community that would find something to be mad about it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like fans who want to be miserable are going to be miserable for sure.
It's just it's not particularly how I would choose to go about like being a fan of a team, but this is the definition of to each their own. Like if that's how people want to do it, then whatever floats your boat, I guess. It's
Maybe people listening or watching, maybe they're not familiar, but if you are, like every fan base has, I mean, it's probably not this extreme, but everybody has a Frank the Tank in their fan base.
yeah.
Multiples of.
Yep.
Again, maybe not to that extreme.
He
but-
he did a video today talking about how he thinks DeGrom's going to the Braves.
The Braves, huh?
Yeah, and he was going crazy. It was funny as hell.
Did you see the video? Like the Braves guys were saying they like watched them like after like they just had a big win or if they gained ground.
Yeah.
That's that they would like watch. They were like, "Oh, we gotta go and watch the Frank video."
Yeah, they said it was like a rallying thing. Like, come on, guys, we just need 3 outs, and then we can go watch a new Frank video. Like it was, which probably made it even worse for him, because now he's like the motivator for.
Yeah.
I don't think I think he likes the attention.
I mean, it pays the bills.
Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with the White Sox this offseason. It's just like you can't possibly do anything.
No, I'm coming after last offseason, especially when you had all those guys. I would have addressed a bunch of needs. Just ask the Phillies. I guess so with low expectations, and now they have less flexibility. Like, buddy, I don't know. They have needs. I don't think they're gonna like. I'm sure they'll address them. It'll be some half-ass patchwork job. So I'm not expecting much.
Yeah, if they're already talking about having a lower payroll than last year, that's not a great sign.
Yeah.
I'm
See how it
banking
plays out, though.
that some guys will have bounce back seasons and it won't be as bad as it was. But even then, I think the ceiling's you win the division.
They're bound. I mean, Yasmani Grandal is bound to have a better season. You got to think Moncada gets better at the plate. You get TA back healthy.
Potential though, that's still not a World Series team.
No, there's glaring holes on this team right now, as it stands on today's date. There's glaring holes on this team.
I think guys bounce back and they'll win the division, and then there'll be a first round exit as the roster is currently constructed.
I'm gonna wait on my opinion on that to see after what moves are made.
By the way, talking about
make moves that change that. But like as of right now, the season was starting tomorrow.
Right. No, I agree.
That's
Talking about just thinking about the offseason for the I think I briefly mentioned it last week. If the Cubs once again don't sign one of these top free agent shortstops, it is a disappointment. There is they need an impact bet, and literally all they have to do is spend money. I guess Cubs fans were making fun of Steve Cohen and the Mets all summer long because that story came out that they were so they're like so scared after they traded Pico Armstrong for Javier Baez that they were going to get screwed again in a trade. The Cubs right now Jed Hoyer is apparently like scared after the Jason Hayward deal. It's like that was 6 years ago.
and they won the World Series too. So
They won and it's so frustrating because Zoe, what's the saying? If you're scared by your dog, like right now, it's like Jed Hoyer's 101 Dalmatians. Like he has all the dogs.
Yep.
He's scared for his life to make a mistake.
And
You can't do that, dude. Scared money don't make money. Come on.
I totally agree on that. And to a point you made earlier about like how it's already coming out that the White Sox aren't spending money and all that stuff. It's a different age right now with all the different mediums of social media, all the different people having types of access. Like now more than ever, and I think we talked about this at length a lot during the whole Machado Harper saga. Like it's really, really hard to know what to believe and what's real and what's maybe the White Sox are putting out that they're not spending so people see them as non-threatening, and then just boom, they come over the top. You know what I mean? It's just so much of what used to go on behind the scenes is now being played out in front of our faces that we don't even realize that it's happening. You know what I mean? With the strategic quotes to the maneuvering to all this stuff. So I just implore people when they read this stuff, especially on fucking November 11th or November 10th, whatever today is, and just to not be like, oh, this quote from Han, this is it. This is how the offseason's going. Now I'm just going to go off the fucking handle. Like, I don't think that's healthy. You know what I mean? Just because I really think that a lot of these games are being played right in front of our faces right now. And most of the times we don't even realize it.
Yeah.
I really, really do. I mean, you try to keep up with all this stuff and read it, but I've also kind of settled into I'm waiting for I was just going to say I'm waiting for guys with check marks to say something, but that ain't a thing anymore. I'm about to have a check mark. But yeah, I mean, until like a Passan or a Rosenthal or, one of the guys that have been doing it for a long time who usually triple, quadruple checks their stuff before they get it out there, puts it out there. I don't take a word that Rick Hahn says to heart right now, especially if he knows it's going public. Like, I know James Fagan is very good at his job. I know a lot of the White Sox reporters are very good at their jobs, and they could only write what they're being told. But you got to imagine every single word coming out of Rick Hahn's mouth is strategic. Like he's not the type to just go up there and be like, you got me. November 10th, guys, we're not spending. We're not spending, guys. Fuck this shit. We're good, dude. We're not spending. Just go interview somebody else. We're good.
That being said, when he said before that they're not going to be spending in specific positions, they haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it was like last offseason, they straight up asked him, like, are you guys going to be looking for free agency for right field? And he's like, it's going to be an internal option. Yep. So, like you said, Mitch,
and that
him already bringing up Oscar Colas as he's going to be
that I agree with.
He's going to be the right fielder.
As much as we don't like to think it mattered, I think this last season of how large of a disappointment it was and how much of an absolute dumpster fire it played out in the public arena, I think it's going to affect them some way. Yeah,
he was reading fan mail allegedly.
Oh shit! But but you get what I'm saying. Like, this isn't like years past. Last year was a fucking dumpster fire. like I've
Not
never
only
seen
were they
before.
bad, it was like a public embarrassment. Like
It was-
every week they were making headlines. The way they lost was
Really?
terrible.
National headlines too, not just
so-
Chicago. National headlines.
And Jerry, he's not happy about it either. So I think there is some real pressure on him too. Like that can't happen again.
No, I'm not sitting here saying that they're going to go sign Aaron Judge for $400 million, but I do believe and
500.
this is just me again. I do believe that they're not going to go business as usual this offseason. I think some things are going to be different than what we're used to seeing with this organization.
And hey, it did with the manager search. It was different.
I
Rick got to run the show.
Rick got his guy, and he already mentioned in the same interview, and I know I'm kind of contradicting myself because I believe this and don't believe that, but he did say that the analytic department is going to have more of a role this upcoming season.
Oh, I think
So
I
maybe-
forget which one of the 108 guys was like,
Yeah.
if Rick Hahn can just be as good of a GM as he is as trolling Tony La Russa, we'd be
Right.
all good.
That's a great quote. That's a great quote. So, yeah, I think they're going to actually hire a second dog to fill out that analytics department. They're going to get another puppy.
Well, you're going to be the third analytics guy, though, with the
Playing
PS5.
the show, yeah.
I'm ready to go,
There
coach.
it is, ready.
Put me in, man. I'm ready. I'll get you all the good prospects. But yeah, so all of that being said, we got a championship to talk about. You better warm up the pipes, bud. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for, there's so many videos now, for the next. Hold on, before you get started, it's this guy, right?
Oh, well, you just spoiled it for everyone. but
Oh,
yeah.
what's that?
Well,
I guarantee you nobody knows who the fuck I'm talking about just by that.
that's
picture.
true. And for the listeners that listen to the podcast, they have no idea what we're reacting to. That's why you should listen to the show or watch it live on YouTube, because then
And
you can see
subscribe.
who's out.
And
Subscribe.
And subscribe.
Hammer that like button. See? True professional. As Noah mentioned, championship weekend in Phoenix. There's 4 drivers. Winner, whoever between those 4 drivers. There's no points don't matter anymore. Stages don't matter anymore. Whoever finishes the highest between those 4 drivers goes home with it all. So 4 drivers in question. Joey Logano, the old podcast favorite, kind of a psycho. He'll wreck people and then not apologize afterwards. Just ask Mark Martin. He's got a fast car, driving the only Ford of the group. We got Ross Chastain. He's crazy. He had the whole season long. His name came up, the Ross Chastain Doesn't Give a Fuck Tour. And he was the one that got in on probably the best move in motorsports history, where he just floored it into the wall, passed like 5 cars on the last 2 turns, got in. So everyone's riding high on Ross too. Team Trackhouse, owned by Pitbull. He's pretty cool. Then we have the old villain, Chase Elliott, Hendrick car. All the fans love him. Don't know why. He's boring as hell. I can't stand him. And then there was Christopher Bell, and he's just, he's Christopher Bell. He's there. He drives around in circles, nothing really to say about him. Anyway, so field set. It was very clear early on, media day, practice and everything. Joey Logano was locked in. This man was not messing around. Everyone else seemed just kind of happy to be here. Joey's like, nah, I was in here in 2020. I thought we had a chance. It got stolen from me. I'm going like, he was locked in. And if you remember, he won at Vegas 2 weeks ago. So the last 2 playoff races, he was already in the championship. He didn't care. His team was already working on that Phoenix car. They had 2 weeks ahead. So Logano, he was the fastest in qualifying. He wins the pole position. He had the fastest car all week, won stage 1, kind of running away with it. The things got interesting near the pit stops, but his boys in the pits, they did a great job. Those Penske boys, they don't quit. Now, the drama came. There's a late restart in the 3rd stage. Chase Elliott is in front of Ross Chastain. So they go to restart. Elliott tries to go low. Ross Chastain's like, yo, you're just going to cut across my nose like that. He's not lifting. It's the championship. Drives right into him, spins him out. All of Chase's fanboys like, oh my God, it's an illegal move. Jeff Gordon, he's out there like, that was bullshit. We're Hendrick. We deserve all the rules. And, Chase spins out. And then afterwards, they're asking him about it. So now, you're thinking, Chase is going to show his personality, right? They're like, dude, he just wrecked you for a championship. And he's like, well, I just want to thank the sponsors because he's boring as hell. No one likes Chase. So his championship's ruined. Christopher Bell's trying to catch Joey Logano because, like I said, Joey Logano classed the field. He's way up front. Bell, he has a chance to get to him. He's at his bumper, but Joey, he outmaneuvers him. It's got to come down to the last pit cycle. One of Christopher Bell's guys, though, got his hand stuck in the wheel. Couldn't get it out. Nearly ripped out his finger. Slow pit stop. Joey, it didn't, thank God. That's why they had the gloves. But
pit stop. Pit stop.
Yeah. Joey Logano wins the title, his second championship. He won the first race in LA to start the season. Clash of the Coliseum. He won the last race. The 22 car wins in 22. Joey Logano is a champion. That is your NASCAR Minute.
Woo, you wrapped it up quick. Damn. Woo. Woo. You're getting good, Mitch. We try to throw you off with all those pictures.
No, it's right now.
Yeah, you're brushing them all off. I think it's hilarious when we just throw up random pictures when you're talking.
I love the Andrew Vaughn one. That one, like, I'm not gonna lie, out of all of them, that's definitely the biggest curveball.
AV, base god, blessed. Hashtag blessed. I think we got to start incorporating more pictures just during the show. Like when we're talking, like if someone says something, we're just like, boom, point blank. Like, yep. So,
Mitch, thoughts on the NASCAR guys who just got that like extra week to prepare? Fair, unfair?
I mean, it was totally fair. Though, I mean, because that was just because, like, he got the extra 2 weeks because they won in Vegas. So he knew he was locked in. Right. So, like, Logano was even saying during his preparation, like the whole Martinsville week leading up, usually you're preparing your car for Martinsville, specific track. Phoenix. Oh, yeah, like last couple of days. Oh, yeah, we'll do this with Martinsville. We don't really care because we're already locked in. So it's perfectly fair. You win your race. You're good. Okay. The other four didn't have luxury because they weren't in on points or anything. They had to worry about it.
Yeah. But
how did the guy do who had that crazy move last week?
That was Ross Chapman.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, he wrecked Elliott. Well, he didn't actually wreck him. Elliott just cut across his nose. And he has the reputation where he wrecks everyone. So, like, did he spin him out? Yeah, but it wasn't his fault. He just has that reputation.
Because you weren't here. Look at this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, jeez. That, like, that people don't realize this, though. Like, these cars this year are not as safe as the last ones. Like, they're giving people a lot of concussions. They've had a concussion problem. In fact, he just floored it into the wall. It was, like, crazy enough.
Well, you're sitting here
nearly blacked out because of all the G's. Like, no one's ever tried
here trying to tell me that this guy's got CTE.
He doesn't go fast enough to get brain damage. You gotta have high speeds for a collision like that. He's too busy getting lapped.
Yep. So what happens now, Mitch? Is like they're like a NASCAR off season? Like
there is, but the problem with the NASCAR off season, so they call it silly season, which is funny in itself, like all the drivers switching hands. But a lot of it has already happened. Like their off season happened like during the year. Like the biggest move was like Kyle Busch, who's kind of like he's the most famous driver. He drives like the M&M's car, or did. Now the M&M's is leaving, but he was supposed to drive for Joe Gibbs Racing, right? He's been there for the last couple of years. He's kind of like made that team who it is. But M&M's Mars Candy left as a sponsor, and so NASCAR, like if you want to pay these guys, like you have to have a sponsor lined up, and he wanted a lot of money. Joe Gibbs couldn't pay him, so he ended up going to RCR, Richard Childress Racing. Who Richard Childress back in the day doesn't like Kyle Busch. He got into a fight with him in pit road. And he's like, "Hold my watch," and then he took his wristwatch and hit him with it.
That's hilarious.
And now he's driving for that guy.
Follow-up question: do team owners fake call drivers and then tell people that they try to get them on their team?
Actually, I mean, there was a lot of rumors like that going around with Kyle Busch. I mean, so probably not the same as like a Rick Hyde, like lawyer speak. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely like, it definitely happens.
So like stuff like this happens in NASCAR.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
For the podcast listeners, it's the White Sox attempt to trade for Shohei Ohtani.
I love that it says via John Heyman and it's underlined at the bottom too. That makes that whole thing. But all right, I just want to make sure that stuff like this happens in other sports.
I mean, okay, that's from John Heyman. John Heyman is just like Jerry Reinsdorf's like best media buddy outside of Bob. KO.
Now that Kyle Orton looks like a NASCAR driver right there.
He does. Wait, pull that picture up again. He does.
That man drives in the NASCAR Truck Series.
That man drinks way too much to drive a fucking moped, let alone a NASCAR vehicle.
Was it? Was the secondary one used to be called like the Nationwide Series? What was the other?
Now
is there like the minor leagues?
They do. They have 3. They have the Truck Series, which is like the equivalent of AA, and then they have the Xfinity Series, which is like AAA, and then there's the ARCA Series, which is like rookie ball. Like that's trash. ARCA, no one watches that. But the Xfinity Series had a lot of drama too, because one of the drivers, Ty Gibbs, to get into the championship, he was like Joey. He was locked in. So the final race at Martinsville to get into the championship, his teammate was leading. His teammate didn't have enough points. The only way he could get in is if he won. And Ty Gibbs wrecked him for no reason, took the win from him. And so he went to the championship and his teammate got screwed.
Also, how do we permanently block someone from being able to comment?
This is one of our biggest fans. What are you talking about?
I know, but I think he's licking toads too. He says, I think
he's a little younger.
Trey Mancini is better than Jose Abreu.
Well, who has more World Series rings though?
That's a good stat to compare players.
Well,
hey, Trey Mancini, he's a good man, and that's all you need in my book. I will represent him.
Stop talking shit to a cancer survivor.
I was waiting for you to do that. Although I was waiting for you to do that all this entire show. I was waiting for you.
I just can't believe you guys keep Yuzo keep shitting on a great hero.
Why in God's name would you use a player's World Series rings to compare baseball players?
Charles Barkley's always getting slandered for that all the time. He was a great player. Trey Mancini beat cancer, has a ring. I mean, are his stats better than Josh Bell? Probably not.
Adam Morrison has an NBA championship.
How many rings?
Adam Morrison has more NBA championships than Charles Barkley. Would you take Adam Morrison over Charles Barkley? Do you know who Adam Morrison is?
A winner.
No,
Gonzaga legend.
I was asking Mitch.
Oh,
he's a winner. That's according to Aldo. So that's all I need.
There you go.
I love Trey Mancini. I think Trey Mancini has a phenomenal story. I think he's a great player. I tweeted out right after they won the World Series, I'm happy for Trey Mancini. Full stop. He's not a better baseball player than Jose Abreu.
No, probably not. I do like Jose Abreu. The 3 best players will be in my book: Sebi, Zavala, Trey Mancini, and then Jose Abreu.
Sebi's gonna get a lot of tick this season, bud. Are you gonna buy a Sebi jersey?
I might. Honestly, I don't know what he'd have to do for me to waste money on a Seb jersey.
That is going to be up on eBay in like a year and a half. I
remember when I was younger, I loved Addison Reed. Like for some reason, he's like
he had a good
Addison Reed jersey, which might be my worst investment. But I thought he was like and he sucked. Like we were talking about Alex Colomé, these guys that blow games. Like Addison Reed would make you nervous, and he sucked. But I just thought he was so cool. You come out to the Kid Rock. It's like, Addison Reed.
He had a good few years after with like
little NASCAR Mitch listening to Kid Rock, getting fired up, getting all hyped up on the dew.
Yeah. Oh, that's before Kid Rock went off the handle. But
Kid Rock was never on the handle, bud.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
It's all right. You were young. Yeah, there you go. Have Uncle My Sock Summer find a Sebi jersey for you on eBay, or sell it for you on eBay at least after you buy it.
There we go.
You're set, dude. I think we're gonna have to do something where you gotta get I would say get a Sebi jersey, but they don't make those.
No, they do. We can
There's
get them
no
online.
way there's a Sebi jersey.
I can probably find one.
We'll find something.
You're already gonna have to custom a jersey for it. They don't make Sebi jerseys.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, we should do something, but like he has to get to a certain number, like a slash line by the All-Star.
Yeah.
So he has
I'm liking where this is going already. This is what this show needs: is more stupid ass bets like this. I'm being dead serious.
Above, what do we say, like 270, and he hits
270 to get a jersey.
No. He has to have a slash line. There's got to be. There's not just 270.
Like he has to meet every single, or like an OPS maybe.
I mean all of them. He's got to hit over 270. He's got
over 750.
Huh? Yeah.
OPS over 750.
That's good. That's good. That's fair.
At least. What do you think for like runners thrown out percentage?
If he
What's a
throws
good
out 2 guys by the All-Star break.
2? Okay.
2 guys. He has to throw out 2 runners by the All-Star break.
Are we doing this before the All-Star break? These numbers or like?
These are before All-Star break numbers because
Okay, All-Star weekend.
I need you in that jersey for half a season.
Got it. All right, and then how many home runs? We'll say 12, 6.
12. Get the fuck out of here. 6. You're buying this jersey, Mitch.
6. All right.
6.
I think 7.
It's a very good time to remind everybody if you want to support the show, we have the link pinned to our Twitter account. We appreciate the support. We might use the money to buy Mitch a Sebi jersey.
So,
Are you writing these down, Aldo? You're on mute. Some reason you're on mute.
Or my bad. Sebi Zavala has a career. He had like a 726 OPS in 2022 with the White Sox. For his minor league career, he does have a career 786.
Well, we have to put in. He has to play a minimum of X amount of games.
he's got to be at the minimum, I would think, at that point, because like they have that for like,
Yeah, because I mean, I don't think we could just say before the All-Star break. We have to say like in his first like 40 games or first.
Yeah.
Let's do his like first like.
Because then that
How many games did he play this year? Well, he played a lot because
he's gonna be the backup. I mean, right now it's him and Yaz. But they got that one kid in AAA that's pretty good that got called up for a cup of coffee.
Oh, Perez, I think it is.
Yeah, Perez. But yeah, once we establish the time frame for this,
is like a good March. Let's put a pin on this.
Yeah, let's put a pin in this.
Next week we'll have the.
No, not next week. Trust me, Mitch, it's gonna get way worse as the off season goes on. We're gonna need to save stuff like this for those times. Yeah, when we start talking about like food and movies and like, it's
like we're gonna get such a dead period.
Over, I do still owe you the BJ McLeod origin story coming up.
Yes,
save that. That's a perfect one to save for March, like or January.
No, like January, like the middle of January.
Yeah, save that for then. All right, well, we'll put a pin in this. So for NASCAR, Mitch, that's Aldo. I'm Zoe. We'll see you guys next week.